What up, Twitch world? We are live for another second-hand chat show. As you can see, I have some lovely guests with me right here. I will introduce them momentarily. First, I just want to remind people that sound alerts are switched off while we're doing the stream, and you can't refund channel points for them, so please don't waste them. Secondly, I won't be chatting with stream audibly. I will do it in chat because I want to be focusing on the conversation with my lovely guests. So, without further ado, let's hit the theme tune. Everybody come on down, and everybody gather round. We're gonna hang with some friends tonight. We're gonna hang with some friends around. It will be a real good time. The company here is sublime. We're gonna hang with some friends, alright. We're gonna hang with some friends tonight. So make sure that you spread the wholesome wherever you may go. So make sure that you spread the wholesome, 'cause it's a second-hand chat show. Okay, so we have with us, joining us today, the ever delightful Hyun Jahext. Hyun, how you doing? Good.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Doing the thank yous early today. We have the always delightful Hownet. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. And we have the always wonderful and charming Elementality NJ. John, how you doing?
Hello. Doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm all good today, other than the fact that it is insanely cold. But that'd be winter, I guess. Right.
I would say the same thing, but it was actually kind of warm here for me today.
Oh, well.
It was here too. It's
Surprisingly.
like, I'll convert it. It was 15.
15C.
Yes.
It's -1 here.
Oh,
Mm.
I can't convert, but it was 63 degrees Fahrenheit.
I typed it into Google because I care about whether or not you understand what temperature it is, right?
All right, Hownet, you're going to show me right away. Let me type it in. 63 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. 17.2.
Oh, so you've got a hotter day.
It was warmer there
Yeah,
than
it
it
was
was here. Well, it was rainy here. That probably didn't help.
It was like cloudy-ish, but
Is it? I love it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to a British podcast. We're talking about the weather.
Do
Right.
you know how many times a day I talk about the weather, CK?
Especially
Why?
you working in a shop too. Like I imagine you have
I
it.
do.
Yeah. Right. Before we get started, we have a redeem here on this channel where people can redeem a cocktail based on either themselves or a character from a game we're playing. Obviously, I couldn't give you guys a free redeem, but what I like to do for the chat shows is to take one ingredient based on each of my guests and create a chat show cocktail. Today, I've decided our cocktail is called the Elementality Hexed Howl. It is. For Elementality, obviously representing the elements, we have some Tennessee Fire whiskey.
okay.
Yeah.
A little fire in there.
That's it.
Tennessee.
Yeah, it's Cinnamon Jack, but last time I used Fireball whiskey, but I decided Cinnamon Jack is a bit nicer, so that's what's in my house at the moment.
Fireball is way too sweet too. Hurts
Um,
my tummy.
Then for Hyun, we have obviously you've got the whole witchy vibe going, and I basically picked this purely on aesthetics rather than flavour, because it's the most vibrant red liquid I've seen, and it looks really potion-like. So we've got some cherry lemonade gin in there,
Oh, that's not too bad.
right? And then I feel like those two would be fine together. But then for how I've just topped it up with a nice beer. And I don't know how those will mix with beer. But here we are. I'm not a huge beer drinker anyway. When I have to drink beer, I find Indian beers are quite good. So we've got some Cobra beer in there. And let's see how you guys taste.
phrasing.
It's actually it's not as bad as I expected. I don't know if I'd drink it again, but it's drinkable.
What are like?
Very-
Can you explain
very,
like
very
the taste buds that you're
So
experiencing?
it's initially you just get beer. That's like the strongest flavor. So it's like a lager, really. But like as that sort of starts to die down, you then kind of get the cherry gin, and then there's just like a slight heat to it, I guess, from the cinnamon. But you can't really taste the like cinnamon, but there's just like a slight warmth. But they definitely haven't mixed. They're like distinct things.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Very nice.
It's definitely drinkable. It's not the worst thing we've had on this show. And I was a bit concerned
good to
about it,
know.
so that's good. And obviously the that cocktail will be put into the bar on Discord after the show, in case people want to try it themselves. But there are much nicer ones in there I would recommend. Right. So we start off today, so you get to know a little bit about each of our guests. We have a small interview for each of them. So Hyun, you're up first, if that is okay.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
You're first on the poster, so that's just how it goes.
No, that's fine.
So as actually I just mentioned, I think you have a really nice sense of branding for your streams, as you have like the witch vibe going on, and your Discord is the Coven, and I just wanted to know where this idea came from.
Ooh, that's a nice question.
Thank you.
So it actually came from just years of just being into everything supernatural. I've always like from a young age, I've always like liked just anything like witchy. Like I've loved like I think it all started probably with most of us like liking Harry Potter probably.
Yeah.
I've just always felt an affinity for like just all that type of stuff, and so I think it just kind of sprang. I was like, oh, well, I always want to be a witch, so I just went ahead and kind of created it for that.
No, that's fair. That's a perfectly reasonable thing. Do you have like a favourite spell? Not necessarily from Harry Potter, but just any witchy things. That wasn't part of the interview. I just thought of that. That's a.
Favorite spell. That's kind of. Well, not really. I do kind of like just. I mean, I am kind of spiritual in that sense that I do believe like all of this.
Mhm.
So everything that like basically everything starts behind intention. So basically, not even like spells aren't really like typical, like we all believe like the way people like, oh, let me like say something in Latin and something will happen.
Yeah.
But it's more of like an intention behind the meaning of what you're trying to come across. So even just wishing something could be sort of spell-like.
Okay.
So just wishing like, okay, well, I hope like my dreams of like, you know, maybe owning a home or something like that. If you put it out into the world like that, I guess, with the good intentions of trying to reach that goal, little things will start forming kind of that way, I believe. So kind of like that. So it's not
Sure.
really like a typical spell, but it's more like kind of like a hopeful wish.
Yeah. Wishes and sort of ideas to create sort
Yeah.
of thing. Sure, that makes sense.
Kind of manifesting.
Yeah,
Is what it is.
manifesting your own destiny via
Exactly.
intent. Got you. I like that. You tend to play a lot of RPGs on your stream. This is the question that somebody gets asked every episode because somebody always plays RPGs. But what is it about RPGs that attracts you to the genre, and what do you think makes them good to stream?
I think story. It's just story, really. I love a good story, good writing. That's the first thing that pops into my mind when I play one. Yeah, if you have a good story, I'm a sucker for it. I just love it. I love getting into the world and the story of it. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
And then I actually was talking to you about this the other day, but I thought it would make a fun question. But when not playing RPGs, you spend your cozy Sundays playing roguelites. And what
Oh my God.
what attracts you to these games?
You know what? I think it's the thrill of trying to almost win, because as you can tell, I don't win. I die every time with these games. I don't know why I do. I honestly didn't even notice till you said that I play these games on a Sunday when it's a good show. I didn't even notice that till you said it, and I realized that it's not really a chill game to play on Sundays, but somehow I get so hooked on them. I don't know. It's just like try to win over and over again. It's like you always get a little closer, and it's just you always think you're gonna make it, and it just feels so good when you finally do, or like make it farther. I don't know. They're just addicting. Those games are just addicting.
I don't mean to play them. It's an unconscious like compulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Do you have a question you'd like to ask me?
Yeah. So I'm just curious. If you had any superpower, what would it be, and what would you use it for?
Just so you know, that is one of my questions that's always on the bottom of my document. It's like if conversation runs stale, I've got a few backup questions, and that is one of. And what's really stupid is that's always there, and I still don't have an answer prepared. Oh man, I guess like I don't know. I think invisibility is pretty cool. There's definitely a lot of situations I think it would be nice if I could just duck out of and just be like, well, I'm off.
That would be very handy.
Yeah, I mean, I have like, but then also being able to do like the complete opposite, being like the most sort of attention-seeking vibe thing would be really cool. So I have this really weird conflict in my personality where I'm incredibly shy but also crave attention. So I think being able to be like invisible but also hyper visible would be like really cool if I could somehow do both the extremes.
That would be cool.
And then I think that would deal with a lot of the issues I have, maybe.
Visibility is not bad.
Yeah. If anybody else wants to jump in on the superhero question, as it is an interesting thing.
I'm kind of curious.
Like,
I love this kind of
Yeah, I actually have one that I don't know if there's really like maybe you guys can think of something that relates to what I kind of thought up of. So instead of doing something like invisibility or flight or something like that, the thing that I would always want is the ability to have 100% energy all the time.
oh, that would be really cool.
And so what that implies is that like I wouldn't need sleep. I can run forever. I can't run fast. I can run like my normal human,
Speed, yeah.
It's like I can run super fast. It's just that I can run forever.
It'd be like that bit on
You want to be a vampire.
what kind of?
A vampire?
Yeah.
I guess vampires don't get tired. I was going to say you want to be Forrest Gump
guess
and
I
just
don't.
do that bit where he just runs across America forever.
Just felt like running.
Yeah. Also, I guess if you
I
could...
mean,
Funny you mentioned Forrest Gump.
Yeah?
Anyway, John, sorry.
Oh no. I was just gonna say I guess it just stems from the fact that I just do too many things that it's like I just wish I didn't have to sleep.
Yeah.
To worry about energy that I can just keep doing.
That's it.
Yeah, I
Right,
want
I
you
do.
to have more energy so you can stream more and continue to entertain me.
Yeah. I mean, that is it. I definitely think I could get a lot more done if I didn't have to spend 6 hours sleeping and then like 2 hours being tired.
6 hours sleep big.
That's about my normal, 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, I sleep 8 or 9.
And then to sort of extend
Thanks
on
for
that,
the
maybe
sub,
you guys have a
Prez.
thought.
Whoa, wait, hold up, sorry. Prez, that's 3 years. 3 years of subbing. Prez has subbed for 3 years.
3
3
years.
years. That's crazy. Wow, thanks, Prez. I don't know how you've put up with me this long. That's nuts. Dance for me. That's how nervous white guys dance.
Well, all the ladies say you're pretty fly for a white guy.
That's just not true.
I do. I think
Oh.
you're fly.
Oh, well. Thank you very much.
I'm not all the ladies. I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah.
You are one lady.
I am a lady.
I am a
Nah, sort of. I have the right. Never mind.
Yep.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I've just remembered an answer I've given to this question before as well. I definitely wanted to have kind of like, you know, like Mantis in the Guardians of the Galaxy films, where I can just like calm people down by like giving them a hug or something. That would be a cool
You
power.
just mean to manipulate their emotions in
No,
general, because
well,
she can do anything.
She can, yeah, but I don't necessarily want the whole I think I would.
I would love to make people stressed out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is it. I would abuse that power far too much because I work retail and I hate everyone.
Yeah.
Like working
Same.
God.
working in a shop makes you just dislike the human race. But I don't necessarily want that power. But if I could just like calm people down or make people happy, that would be a really nice power to have.
You do that already, CK.
Yeah.
Well,
That's your
That's good then.
actual superpower.
yeah.
You always have a knack for when I'm feeling really shitty. Can I curse here?
Yeah, you can curse all you want. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You have a knack for when I'm feeling really shitty to like you just always happen to randomly send me a little nugget happy message, and it always, even though I don't always reply to them, I always see them. And
Yeah.
they always never fail to make me smile.
Oh, that's good. What I
And
do?
while I'm talking, I will share my superpower before we get too off topic.
Yes.
If I could have any superpower, would like to just be extremely lucky. Like roll
Yeah.
a d20, like a nat 20 on every single thing I ever like liquid luck from Harry Potter all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like,
Like I just want to be extremely lucky.
That's
And
like Domino,
they,
isn't
they
it?
did this in the
Now-
Deadpool
Yeah,
movie.
I was gonna say, it's
One-
Domino.
I think one of the Deadpool movies, like the second one,
Second one.
there was a girl that was just extremely fucking lucky.
Domino.
And
Yeah.
that's all she said. She was like, "I'm just really, really, really lucky."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, you are." And then she really fucking was, and was honestly like the glue that held that whole movie together. So I think being really, really lucky would be nice.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Now, does it still invite the idea of being unlucky sometimes? Like you're like maybe it's like 90% lucky, 10% unlucky, or is
No.
it just like you always 100% lucky?
Well,
Like,
it
nothing
kind of
goes
goes
wrong.
back. It goes back to like intention, I guess. I think it all just like it would just like depend. Like, I manifest the luck when I really need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
If you-
So it's not
otherwise,
something
I
that's
just
like-
I roll general. Like sometimes, yeah, I might like not get a good parking spot in my apartment complex, or like I might drop my car keys as I'm trying to like get in the car.
Yeah.
Or like I catch my like belt loop on the door handle. But like if I really need something to go my way,
It will.
it's gonna go my way.
That's it.
So mine with like 100% energy would be something that's like constantly active, whereas yours seems it's more like, all right, I need this to happen for me like now. Like you at a snap of a finger, then it's like, all right, I'm
On
lucky.
command.
Is that the
I want to
idea?
abuse
Like on command.
because the superpower comes from somewhere.
There's a cooldown.
I don't want to abuse it.
Yeah, for 1 hour a day,
Don't
she's
wanna-
really unlucky just to like balance it all out.
Yeah,
But those other
that's
23.
to use it.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. Well.
I've almost drank my drink.
Oh no, you might have to get another one.
Is it rude if I leave to go get another drink?
No, it's fine. But I'm going to do your interview next, so you can do that first.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Ian, thank you for that. That ended up being a question that went for everyone, so that was cool. That was a good question you brought along.
I'm glad.
Um,
Actually, I'm sorry. I just got that camera working, so I'm gonna actually
oh,
you guys are gonna actually see me now. So,
how exciting!
Oh.
Wait.
Oh,
Ooh.
Hi guys.
I actually really like your model. It's really cool.
yeah, that's adorable.
I wish I figured this out before, but yeah, there we go. Hey, now I don't feel so left out.
Right. How?
Hang on.
No,
The
go for it.
model is absolutely giving Hex Girls from the Scooby-Doo animated movie.
Oh my god. That's such
Like,
a
except I think the girl that I'm thinking of has red instead of the purple, but
okay.
I
Oh,
prefer
red is
purple
so
to
cool,
red
too.
anyway.
Oh, I see it. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
giving
see
Hex Girls.
You see,
That Scooby-Doo film was top tier.
I will look it up after. I can't look things up now, or all the cameras turn off. It's a weird thing on Discord when you're streaming it. Like, if you don't have the screen full screened, all the cameras go black.
That sounds like a you problem.
I mean, it possibly is, but like, if I were to maximize like another window, you'd see it. Like all the cameras would go out. It's really annoying.
No problem.
But
That does sound annoying.
yeah, there's probably
All the bourbon sank to the bottom of that drink.
yeah. Anyway, Hal, as someone who streams a lot of Hades, you are also a fan of roguelites. Look, synergy.
I am.
Making friends. Why do you think they are fun to stream? Or to play, generally?
Okay, so like, so Hades was the first game that I played that like I consider a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not that good at games.
Well, but you played Undertale, that's good as
I really
mine.
have to persevere.
Same, girl, same.
I have to persevere. Eventually, I got Hades, and I've like damn near 100% of the game.
Mhm.
Like I have done a lot for Hades, in terms of like completion.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the challenge. I've played a couple different roguelikes post Hades. Like I've played Risk of Rain 2. I played Binding of Isaac. I have a couple others that I haven't played, but that I own and will play eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a good challenge with them. I like the like if I replay an RPG over and over and over and over and over again, like even Undertale that has like a couple different endings.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gameplay is very similar. I mean, with Undertale, I mean, you've got one extreme or the other. Like, you do a lot of fighting in one, you don't do a lot of fighting in the other. You do a somewhat amount of fighting in one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's predictable. But
Yeah.
like with a roguelike, everything is just different every time.
That makes sense.
And sometimes it's really good and it's beautiful. Sometimes it's really bad and you can't wait for it to end. And like, I love with Hades specifically how like circular everything is. It's like it makes sense that when you die, because you die regardless of if you win or if you lose.
Right.
You die at the end anyway. So it's like, I feel like that with Hades specifically helps a lot with wanting to continue, because you're gonna die at the end regardless. But it's
Nice.
fun to see like different paths on how to get there.
Yeah. It's cool. I want to talk about as well. You go through like phases of streaming. Like you'll stream for a while, and then you don't stream for a while, and then you stream for a bit and stuff. And I was just wondering, how do you think this sort of more sporadic approach to it affects your streaming?
If I am just not in the right like persona, I guess, or like mental place to like stream, it's just not gonna be fun time for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like gloom and doom and then go live and then share my gloom and doom with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I work a lot. Like I have a really big apartment and I pay quite a bit for it, so I work a lot to be able to keep my big apartment. So like I work 2 jobs, and it's very hit or miss when I like have the energy to like. I feel like my camera got blurry. That didn't fix anything. Hey.
Oh, looks a little better.
Yeah, I got focused for like a second.
There we go.
Like right there. There we go.
Thanks, Yoshi. Anyway, Yoshi. So I feel like when I'm like really feeling like inspired and I feel like making content, I feel like entertaining people. Regardless of like if I haven't streamed in a couple months or a year or whatever, like there's whatever amount of time I do the streaming, I put out some really good content.
Sure.
And
I'd agree with that.
So it's just I would love to have more time to stream.
Yes.
More
I agree with that
energy
too.
to do it. It sucks like having to. I mean, I probably work 55, 60 hours a week every single week, and that's just to afford my apartment, feed myself and all these fucking animals that I have. And then have a little bit of fun on the side, and by that I mean I do drink a lot of beer.
Yep.
But it's, you know, I get different waves of inspiration, and the bouts of streaming that I do take, they're very much like dependent on that, I guess.
Sure.
I will say doing this has given me a nice being on camera and like talking to people, I feel like gives me a little bit of a boost. You know, like every time I go to a Melee tournament, I feel inspired to play Melee when I get home.
Right, wait,
And so
hold
it's
up.
just like,
Sorry, I was just going to say, that really nicely leads into my next question. Because I was going to say, obviously, Super Smash Bros. Melee is a very important game to you. Have you ever thought about bringing that to your streams and like doing? I know you did for a while, ages ago. You did like when you were first learning to play Melee competitively, and you did like stream tutorials and stuff. And I was just wondering if you've ever thought about doing like Melee streams, or maybe like having people over for like a Melee tournament on stream or something. Or
I don't know about having people over.
Well, not
'cause if we're
necessarily.
gonna have,
not
oh, you just mean like on Slippy, like
Yeah.
inviting like friends and stuff to do like
yeah.
online.
I consider
has
this
been
show. My friends have come over to do my chat show. I understand you're not actually here.
Yeah. I will say that has been a thought that's crossed my mind. My Melee streams have always done really well because unfortunately, well, not fortunately / unfortunately, there are a lot of men or male people in the Melee community. Not a lot of female people.
Sure.
And I feel like a lot of the girls in the community do get just viewers because they're girls, which is nice. It's fun. I really personally don't care. Objectify me. I love it. With some money, please. Like I'm happy to make money that way. But yeah, I definitely like could see myself playing Melee again. But it's also really hard. I'm mostly just like watching Melee.
That's fair.
And I'm a big fangirl for Melee.
Yeah.
But I mean, playing it is fun, and it could be a fun thing to do.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I mean, I'm
Even,
probably
like, live streaming like tournaments and stuff that I go to could be fun. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I hop on a little like, you know, IRL live stream, and just people get to see me being crazy watching Melee.
Yeah, or even if it was one you couldn't go to, if you could just live stream it and you could just do commentary or something, like,
Yeah.
it could be good fun. I was gonna say, like,
Yeah, it could.
I know, like, obviously, for people who don't know, like, Hal is an incredible Peach player. Like, it's insane watching her do it. Like, back in the day, you know, sort of when
John probably begs to differ.
well,
John.
I was gonna say, I know you had the thing where
when I
you
first picked up the controller.
you went over to his house, like, and you had a face off, didn't you? I do remember that.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of me, but I will say Sheik, the awful player, the awful character that John chooses to play.
I beat you 5-0.
Right. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, I mean, I
all you
Shit's on
want, Hal.
Peach. Shit's on Peach, just like because, and I was already a bad player at the time, so rematch, right? Not right here, right now, but sometime
I'm down
we're
for a
gonna
rematch.
we're gonna rematch.
you see,
There we go,
Rematch.
CK.
I won't,
I'm
how about
gonna.
this? I
I
won't practice at all. I don't think I've played since that.
no, like,
I won't practice either because if I practice, I'll get too into my head.
I was gonna
But
say,
I definitely I learned a lot since then because I've played a lot more since then
Yeah.
Right.
and have watched a lot more since then.
like, I would love to play against people who are like insanely good, like you two are. Like, like back in the day on when GameCube was the console around, you know, I was pretty decent with Young Link, and like I could beat all of my friends, but like I never sort of took it further than I was the best of my friends, and that was fine, you know. I did for a while learn to be really good with Ness just because everyone told me Ness was unplayable. So he was probably my second. But like I can pick up like Smash Bros on the Switch now, and I'm like, I'm not good at this game by any means. But if you'd talked to me so like 15 years ago, I'd have been really good.
the Smash franchise in general is one of those like franchises like it's easy to get into, but like really hard to master.
Yeah.
Especially Melee.
And
Like
there's so
if you're not playing a
levels,
lot of the top
too.
characters, like the Spaceys and Jigglypuff and Falcon, Peach, Sheik, like if you're not playing any of those characters, then it's really
Marth.
really tough.
Mm.
Marth as well. Unless you've got
Yeah.
that the outliers every once in a blue moon, like Amsa's
Amsa.
Yoshi and yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how many levels there are to like up
And
hard
then it
again.
keeps growing.
Mm. But actually,
You know, like
There are also a lot of like just recently Golden Guardians announced that they were a big sponsor for several players. Like Zane, one of the top players for Melee, was sponsored by Golden Guardians for a long time, and he recently had stepped away from that, and Ludwig sponsors him with Moist Moguls. But Golden Guardians sponsored like Toph, who was a player and now a big commentator. They sponsored Dr. PP, who was one of the 5 gods, and like one of the very pivotal like
like
storylines
PPMD?
of Melee. Yeah, PPMD, Dr.
PPMD?
PP. They sponsored him, and they also sponsored Nun, who currently plays, and he's a Falcon main
Mm.
/ Ganondorf. But yeah, they just shut their doors, no operations anymore. So like, Smash sees a lot of ups and downs like that,
Mm.
unfortunately.
I
I
was
just
just
think it's wild that this game came out in 2001,
yeah.
and to this day, people still discover new things or push the meta even further. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's
it's
like-
Yoshi
definitely...
winning. I'll always go back to Yoshi, and Amsa's Yoshi, but it's like he was the first Yoshi ever to win.
Yoshi to
a
win a
tournament.
major? That's insane.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. It's
Yeah.
like 20, almost 20 plus years. Actually, yeah,
Well,
20
I was
and
plus years later.
I mean, Amsa literally moved from Japan to Canada to be able to compete more.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was
That's
gonna,
awesome.
I was gonna say like the main fighting game I play, not that I play fighting games very much, is Mortal Kombat, and that kind of has the same thing. Like I've got the same issue with that really. That I'm good enough to beat all my friends, and my friends won't play with me, but I'm not good enough to compete online because I never get any practice. But as you were saying, sort of like people still playing Melee and like doing tournaments and stuff. Mortal Kombat 2, which came out in like '94, I think, is still the most Mortal Kombat tournamented game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You were probably
The one
born
I'm
in
familiar
1990,
with-
whatever.
I was born in 1990.
The one that was on the 64 is the one that I played the most.
MK4.
Is it 4?
Yeah. That was like the one I missed. I played like 1, 2, and 3, didn't get 4, and then
There was Mortal Kombat on Nintendo?
yeah. I had the
64, yeah.
original Mortal Kombat on the SNES. That was how I got into Mortal Kombat when I was like 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. Back when it only had 7 characters,
Maybe it's a trilogy. It says Mortal Kombat trilogy.
possibly. I'm sure 4 was on the N64 because 4 was the first 3D
Okay,
one.
so maybe it wasn't 4 that I had. Maybe it was the trilogy
Maybe.
that I seem to be looking up right now. But anyway, yeah, that's most of my experience with Mortal Kombat.
That's fair.
It's a fun
Anyway.
game.
It is cool. It's good fun. I mean, the most recent one, I don't understand how it's got so much hate from people because it's
Yeah, I
incredible.
was just
It's
gonna
so
ask
much
if
fun.
you had the recent one.
Yeah, I've since Deadly Alliance, which was the 5th one, I've brought every single Mortal Kombat. So I've always been up to date with it. But it's just I'm one of those weird people where I don't play it for the online. I'm like, it's got a really cool story, guys.
Didn't they rewrite the story for this last one?
Yes and no. So Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat 1, which is the most recent one, are like soft reboots. So although they sort of reset, there is a canonical reason why it resets. It doesn't just start over. So it's one continuous story from the first Mortal Kombat game in 1992 to now. It does follow all the way through. It just has gone back in time a few times. But for a fighting game that is prolifically killing off its characters, that's kind of important to do, I think. But anyway, Hal, do you want to ask me a question? Because I'm aware we just went down a huge Smash rabbit hole.
We did. Unfortunately, I have a fox tattoo.
I know, it's really. I thought as well. It's like I should have brought for your beer for the cocktail. I should have got a thirsty fox.
That
But,
fox
I
is
didn't.
actually like It's specifically Mango's,
Mango's
Fox. Yeah, from Super Smash Con 2022.
Because you were there and you watched him win, and you were like,
I
I want the
my-
winning moment on my arm.
My first Melee major that I attended, that Mango competed in, with me being a Mango fan, Mango fucking won.
Yeah.
That will forever be one of the top, probably 5 moments of my entire life. But anyway,
awesome.
my question for you,
Yes.
that I just came up with right now.
Excellent.
JK, I came up with it while I was putting my makeup on before we were in the call. Because I'm like, wait, I was supposed to do something for this. I'm glad I pinned it to the Discord communication so I could just go to the pin and read it. But anyway, so you've been a dad now for what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah. She was
Lyra just turned 2 very recently.
4 weeks ago? 4 weeks? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been long.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I don't know, do you feel like you get as much enjoyment out of streaming as you did now that you did before, like, you became a dad? And, like, has it been hard to continue to, you know, stream and entertain people now that you have a little person to entertain at home?
I would say I've probably got more enjoyment out of streaming now but that's not necessarily related to her. It's just the fact that my channel is slowly growing, and when we're getting more people in and like numbers go up and stuff, it always kind of feels good, I guess. And like, you know, I started this chat show 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, like 2 years.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, this is the season 2 finale, so it would be. And we did a pilot episode, which I did as like a charity redeem thing before I decided I wanted to make it a proper show, which was last December. Oh, two Decembers ago? Yeah, 2 Decembers ago. So it's pretty much exactly 2 years ago was the first ever time I did a chat show. And then I was like, that's so much fun, I want to make it a regular show. And then we had the first proper episode, February 2022, which John was on.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was like the first proper episode. So,
Dude, big congrats for keeping it going. That's awesome.
thanks.
You wore a tie!
Yes, I always put on a shirt and tie. It makes me feel like a presenter. I feel like a host now. Like, I'm just,
Fancy.
that's it.
The host with the most.
That's it. And normally you'll see me like bumming around in a hoodie and a t-shirt, possibly a Hawaiian shirt in the summer. So this is my smart time. That's when I go on the stream and I'm like, do you ever want to see me actually dressed up? I should really bother to comb my hair. That would be a real thing, wouldn't it? But yeah, so like the stream's going on. I've been doing this show, and like this chat show is probably my favorite thing to do on streams. I absolutely love to get all people together, you know, and show off my friends and stuff, and just be like, yeah, these are the people I think are amazing. Can everyone come and like see these people and realize how wonderful they are and stuff. So that's what I like to do. That's why I like this show, because I can just be like, I think these people are wonderful. That's great. And then like, especially like I don't know if you remember, John. Like the first one was you, Kels, and Ari, and I know like
Yep.
you kind of knew Kels a bit, and like but neither of you knew Ari. And then like you were all like, oh, we're gonna be friends after this, and I saw you raiding each other and stuff. And then I was like, I did that, and that was so cool. And that's exactly what I want from the show. And it's just, I want to bring people together that I think are great, and hopefully then all my great friends will become friends with each other. Because
Yeah, it's definitely a great way to meet new people, for sure.
Yeah. Because I always find the networking part of Twitch really difficult. I find it very hard to go and talk to new people. And I figure if I find it difficult, other people probably find it difficult. So let's make a fun way to sort of help people with it. And then the idea is also if everyone also invites all their community to come along to the show, then hopefully viewers will also do the same thing and be like, oh, that person seemed cool, I'll go and check out their streams in the future. And it makes loads of friends, which is something I enjoy. So in that respect, I'm probably enjoying streaming more. I definitely have less time to do it. Like, since Lyra's been born, I only stream twice a week because I've got work the other 5 days, and I can't stream as early. Like, I have to wait until everyone's gone to bed and stuff. So, which has also been a bit of a shame, especially with all like the work I'm doing on like the album coming up and stuff. which will hopefully be out early next year. I'd like to do more music streams, but I can't really do a music stream at sort of 10 o'clock at night. It's a bit inconsiderate. Just to be like backing out some instruments and stuff. Which again will be nicer once I've got all like the songs recorded and stuff, and I can just use backing tracks that I can sing over. Then that would be much more viable.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. We're at the point now we've got at least a demo of every song. Just it needs a lot of fine tuning and fixing and stuff. So hopefully sometime next year.
Take your time with it. Take your time with it, man.
Yeah, that's it. Every time I feel like, hey, like originally I was like, oh, it should be out at the end of the year, and then it got to like September, and I was like, there's no way it's going to be out this year. It should be early next year. And now I'm like, oh man, I think it will probably be like, I don't know, February, March time. And I'm sure
Dude, that's what happened with the Schwam album too. We were going to release it. We started recording it last winter.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, like I think like February we're going to release the album, and it ended up being like end of May that we released it, just because there was so much that like we had to put into it, and we really wanted to fix up or change or make sure it sounds the way we want it to sound.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes it easier or harder or not, but obviously you've got a whole band doing it. Like this is just, there's me and then my friend who's producing it, who's also adding guitar on it for me. So there's only the two of us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes it easier or harder. I'm not sure.
I guess it depends.
But it's a big thing. But yeah, it's getting good. I've written all the, like I say, I've written all the songs, which is nice. I've written all the B-sides that are going to come with the singles as well. But we haven't started recording those yet. We just need to do which I understand really is a very old-fashioned way of releasing music. Like nowadays, everyone just chucks everything on streaming, and you don't really have singles. And albums will probably be going soon.
You'd be surprised. I think a lot of people do singles. If anything, that's more of the meta, because it's like if you put out singles, you can put out a song once a month, and you stay relevant.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they don't release like a single with B-sides or something. It's just like, oh, here's a song, here's a song, here's a song. And
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I guess I'm trying to do it very traditionally, because I guess it's how I grew up with music. No. Maybe afterwards we'll see about just chucking out songs as and when. And
sure.
Yeah. But I wanted to do like a big thing for the first one. But sorry, to get back to the question. So yeah, I'm probably enjoying streaming more. I guess the main thing is I'm just a lot more tired between sort of working nights and stuff, and since Lyra's been born I get a lot less sleep. Because I do all her like breakfast and get her ready in the morning and stuff before I go to bed.
I joined you for that once.
Yeah, that's really fun. You should do that more often.
I had a really nice time. Yeah, I stay up that late pretty regularly too. So I mean,
But yeah, so I like to say I get a lot less sleep, so I'm usually quite tired. So sometimes you'll find me on stream. Like I've done it before where I've gone, all right, for the last like 20 minutes I've run into a wall about 6 times, so I probably need to end stream soon. Because like I'm clearly
into the wall.
Yeah, I'm clearly not focused enough for this. Like, so I think you'll see that on stream more often. I think that's the main difference. Is that sometimes I'm just really tired, or like sometimes I'll fight through it, and you'll get like a bad half an hour where I do that a lot, and then I'll come back round and have a second wind, and the end of the stream will be all right. But I think that's the main difference. Is that I'm just more tired. But But at the same time, I have genuinely the most amazing 2-year-old. Like, she is so cool. And she's like...
Do you ever... Oh, sorry.
No, go
on. I know, like, you've probably shown Lyra on stream.
Not since she was very small. I try and keep her off stream.
Okay. I was curious, like, once she gets, like, older, like, actual, like, kid-sized... Do you think, like, if she expressed interest in, like, hanging out on stream with you, if you would have her?
I don't know. That would be a difficult conversation. Because I find at the moment, and I've decided recently that I'm going to try and put less pictures of her on Twitter. Like, I still do them occasionally, but I find a lot of the time if I put a picture of her on Twitter, about 6 people I've never heard of will like it, and that's a bit weird.
Oh, that's very weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Twitter not have the circle anymore? I've seen people like complaining about it, but like I feel like if you were able to do it just to like a Twitter circle,
possibly
that would be a way around it, or just keep it to Discord.
Yeah, that's it. I tend to put a lot of things for her on Discord. I'll instant message people and be like, oh look, she did this cute thing the other day, or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdos out there.
Yeah, that's it. So I would probably keep her. I don't know. If she really wanted to, then maybe. But I suppose from the same point of view, that's like Twitch terms the service is there for a reason, isn't it? That's why they say no under whatever age it is, 14 or 12 or whatever we decided. You know, so maybe once she's sort of a teenager, we could look at doing it. But yeah. But yeah.
Good, I'm glad you don't want to exploit your child.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't want to be like. I mean, I know this is like an extreme example, but the thing, you know, when people have like the redeems for like, oh, show off my cat or something, I didn't want it to be like, oh, yeah, here's my kid, yeah, because that's just weird, right?
I don't even, honestly, like, I have those, I think, for Jude and Charlie, but, like, even that, like, I feel kind of bad, because, like, I feel like if Jude wants to come in here, he'll just come in here.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to, like, go get him and disturb him from whatever it is that he's doing. And like drag him into the, because he goes through phases where he likes to hang out in here with me.
Yeah.
And he just exited a phase. Like he's not been coming in here the last couple days. He's found spots in the living room he likes to lay now, which I'm a little bit glad about because I was tired of getting messages from people being like, "Yo, your cat said some stuff in Twitch chat." It happened a handful of times where I guess Jude would just like step on the keyboard or lay on the keyboard.
Yeah.
He also threw up on the keyboard one day.
Oh.
And then I have my computer tower. My computer tower is like right here where my arm is. And I've got my Switch up there on the dock. I've got this. I painted its ditto.
No.
It's a raid.
This is this is a piece of cardboard.
Whoa, just one sec. Kitty, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in everybody who came along with Kitty.
Raiders.
That is a really cute ditto. Don't apologise. It was really nice of you to raid. How was your you were doing interviews, right? With Void. How was that going? Let me get you a shout out. Hey, Kitty's also been on this show, and she's one of the lovely mods here. She's really wonderful. You should absolutely go and check Kitty out sometime. She's a really nice streamer. She's doing a lot of Pokemon at the moment. She's going to become the greatest Vulpix trainer of all. And yeah, just a really cool person. And people, if you are new to this channel, I'm CK. We're currently doing a chat show with the wonderful Hyunja Hex, Hellnet, and Elementality. They're all really lovely people. Hang out, and we're just going to be chatting a bit, and you can get to know some awesome streamers while you're here. And thank you so much for coming in. Sorry, carry on. Unless you've completely lost the track of what you were saying.
I'm just here wiggling my nose, man. But yeah, Jude, he just took it upon himself to knock everything up here off.
Yeah.
I also have some Funko Pops and some plushes. And he was just laying on top of there. So I'm glad that he's in the living room now.
My relatable thing, so my Switch is, like the dock, is behind the telly. And Lyra's got into this phase recently, when she's watching telly, she likes to go and poke all the characters. And so she keeps basically pushing my telly. So now, that's why I've only been using this camera on stream lately, and not my normal stream camera, because it's somewhere in the back of my telly. It's fallen down, and I need to get behind there and sort everything out. I don't know where my Switch charger is. It's behind there somewhere.
Oh man.
And I'm trying to convince her that poking the telly is not a good idea, but you know, 2-year-olds be 2-year-olds.
I have an idea. Okay, so you poke the telly and act like it hurt you.
You see, the thing is,
Like every so often when you catch her do it, you walk up and be like, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let me poke the telly." What?
the thing is, she's been doing it for long enough now, and I don't think she'd fall for it.
Has she ever seen you poke the telly?
Well, no, but she's poked it enough times that I think she knows it doesn't
Now
hurt.
that she's 2, she's grown enough that that's it. You just gotta play. She's smart. She's smart. I've listened to her.
She is
talk.
really
Like,
smart,
I feel
yeah.
like you can reason with her a bit.
You can with some things, but like the main ones I've been trying to install in her is don't sit so close to the telly, it's bad for your eyes. Just sit on the sofa like a normal person. You know, and stop poking the telly, because if you break it, I'm going to be very angry.
If you break it, then you don't have any telly to watch.
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah. The other big one that she won't understand reason for at the moment is she seems to hate putting jumpers on. And I'm like, but it's fucking cold. Put your jumper on. Obviously, I don't swear at the child, but I'm just yeah. John,
Will
sorry.
she wear a coat?
Yeah, usually.
So she won't wear a jumper, but she'll wear a coat.
Yeah, she won't wear hats and gloves either. It's really annoying, unless she decides it's her idea.
I get it. As somebody that is autistic as fuck and has hella sensory issues, I always hated wearing anything with a long sleeve on it. Like, it just felt weird on my arms. I would wear a coat, but I, like, hated wearing, like, sleeves with a coat because it felt funny. And I, to this day, don't like wearing gloves or hats, really. Like, I'll wear them occasionally, like, if my hair's dirty, but I don't like wearing them in terms of keeping my head warm. And then gloves, like, we use paper bags at Trader Joe's. My poor hands are so dry because I refuse to wear gloves while I use the bags, because the bags just wick all the moisture out. So I get it. I get it. Unfortunately.
Fair enough. John, let's get to you.
Hello.
Hi. I know you've mentioned this earlier, but I think it's interesting. So, not moving my thing. But multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube has become a normal thing for you now. What made you decide you wanted to do that, and how has it changed your streams? If at all.
So, the main thing that, the main reason why I did it is because Twitch allows it now.
Yes.
With like sort of the new Twitch things that happened over at TwitchCon, and obviously there's kind of like, hey, you can multi-stream now with asterisks, because there's like specific things that they don't want you to do. Like, they don't want you to link. It's really weird. They don't want you to link your other streams to the Twitch chat, because they want to like.
They still want people on
multi-stream, but they still want people on the platform.
Yeah.
So what I've done with my streams now is that like I have it half and half, where like with my Pokemon overlays that I have, the left side of it is all Twitch related stuff, the Twitch chat and like the Pokemon like type change and stuff, right? The stream boss and everything. And then the right side of my stream is now YouTube, and so it shows like the YouTube chat, because that was another thing too, where they don't want you to combine the chats either. They don't want you to have like one single chat for Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, because it's like a moderation issue.
Right.
Like Twitch can moderate their Twitch chat, but they can't moderate what happens on Kick chat. And if you know anything about Kick, then it's like,
you don't want that.
Kick is a very raunchy place over there. So, but yeah, in terms of like how it's affected my streams, I've gotten some new people from it, especially because like my YouTube channel's been kind of popping off a little bit. So
I'll get to
from
that.
like sort of the videos, and I've been getting a few people here and there.
Yeah.
I've been getting some children as well, especially because I've been doing a lot more like Pokemon content. So I've been banning a couple people. It's just like, all right, like what I mentioned earlier, like off before we started the podcast. Yeah. But overall it's pretty interesting. I'm still sort of experimenting with it and still doing it and just kind of seeing where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of your YouTube, so as well as obviously people need to check out John on his Twitch, his YouTube channel is brilliant as well, because he's been making a lot of YouTube content recently. You've had the big success recently with your Pokemon Cries videos.
Yes.
And I've really been enjoying the Pokemon Sing the Roots videos. I think they're wonderful. I've shown them to all my friends at work.
Thank you. Nice, that's awesome.
Everyone sort of said they're really fun, but you've put so much effort into such a small video. It's clearly, and like, and nobody thinks Weedle sounds good. But, but yeah, but I've found them to be really good, fun videos, and I was just wondering how you're. Oh, and I watched the other day you just released the remembering the 150 Pokemon, but it was really cool how you did like the different tips for it and stuff, and some of them were really interesting.
So I have the entire Kanto Pokedex memorized. So if you told me a Pokemon like, oh, what about like Diglett? It's like, oh yeah, well Diglett and Dugtrio, and there's Meowth Persian, Psyduck Golduck, Mankey Primate. Then I could just start naming them all in Pokedex order.
I used to be like, so I remember recently, well, I was talking to Katie about this, and I was like, oh yeah, as a kid, I could run through 1 to 151 no problem. And then I tried to do it for her then, and I managed to get as far as about 28, 29 or something. And then it was just like, yeah, I got to, it's because Pikachu, Raichu, Sandshrew, Sandslash, and then I was like, I don't know what's after Sandslash. So that was as far as I could do now, trying to do it all in order.
Female.
Right. That's it.
Wait, well that's okay, so I had in my head,
Mm.
I was gonna just like spout out, go from neat arena to
Okay.
whatever, but we just did Nita Rand female, so
Yeah.
that's Nita Arena. That's crazy. That's
Nidorina,
crazy.
Nido Queen, Nidoran, Nido,
Yeah.
Nido King, Clefairy,
That's where
Clefable,
I
Vulpix,
always get
Ninetales.
confused.
Yeah. And I have a couple random things that I know, like you were saying, you knew Diglett was 50. It's like obviously everyone knows Pikachu's 25. I knew the Voltorb was 100, so that was always like a key thing. And then just
What's after Tangela?
Chansey.
Kangaskhan.
Oh, damn it.
Nope,
Oh,
chances
yeah.
beforehand.
Oh, I was close.
Kangaskhan. You were close, yeah.
Yeah, and right,
Close.
and that. Thanks, Professor
You
Oak.
were close.
And then like
Wow.
the other thing that we all just knew, I can't remember why it became a really ongoing joke in our like friendship group for a while that Hypno was Pokemon 98. I'm not really sure why. Unless you're going to tell me it's 98.
That is correct.
It is
I
98.
don't
isn't
know
it?
what the. I think it is 98. No, it's
Or is it 99? Is Drowsy 98?
It's
97?
No, because before Voltorb is Krabby Kingler.
Oh, so
it's,
it must be 97. then.
97. 97.
All right, but yeah,
I don't
that
know all the numbers off the top of my head. I just
after
know the
Poliwrath.
order. That would be Abra.
because he
Poliwrath is fighting type.
yeah, and it's weak to psychic.
type.
That was something else I didn't realize how often you did that when it was like, oh, all the types link up, and I was like, oh, it's really cool.
Yeah. I had a lot of like little tips and tricks to help me.
You also
Anyway.
know Pod at quite a few places, don't you, John?
I know what?
Pod at quite a few places.
I do. Yeah.
3.14159265.
Yeah, I know like 38 digits.
38. That's insane.
2, 3, 8, 4, 6.
Something-
I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah,
So-
it's 3.141592653589793238462643338463832795028884.
What we've all learned here today is that John is a
No, no,
sociopath.
Hey.
God, you have like such a crazy memory.
Yeah, so actually,
Pi, mathematical pi. 41592. That's why I know a lot of it, because somebody did a little parody song of that song when I was in high school.
amazing.
I'm like, oh, that's fun. Anyway,
Stuff like that
sorry.
always helps. Yeah.
That's all right. The point is, check out John's YouTube. It's great. But how have you found making YouTube content to be? How's that been?
It's been keeping me busier than I already am. You know, trying to make the time to video edit. I'm such a creative person. I have so many ideas. Hal can tell you, but I have so many like ideas and stuff that I want to do. But I've been trying to set aside time to like the whole process is like, you know, coming up with the ideas and then making a script, because I feel like I'm still trying to get familiar with like with live streaming. It's easy to kind of just talk to the audience, right? Even this show right now, it's like, hey, we're just talking, we're kind of doing whatever. For a YouTube video though, I feel like I have to script what I want to say. I feel like I can't just sit in front of the camera and be like, hey, so I can memorize the Pokédex, you know? I'd have to like, I'd be stumbling on my words or doing a lot more cuts than I need to. So I sit down, I write the script, and then I'll record it with Ableton. I'll record my vocals, like me speaking with Ableton, and then I'll do all my video editing, you know, after that. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up. I've been keeping up pretty consistently with it, even if it's just like a couple videos a month or so. And I've been trying to experiment. I really dive into sort of like, there's different YouTubers that give like tips. If you've ever heard of like vidIQ, they have all sorts of ideas, like, you know, how to grow on YouTube and how to like, you know, how to make the right thumbnails and the right titles. It's very like, if you want to grow on YouTube, there's a lot of like meta things you have to do.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
just
like,
want,
no
like, cool
open
videos,
mouth
you can just
thumbnails
upload
right
it.
now. That's not the meta. Gotta
Yeah,
have
yeah.
closed mouth thumbnails according to Mr. Beast.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and a lot of it is experimentation as well. You kind of find something, like the variety that I have is like, I do like Pokemon cries, turning them into music. I've done like my piano controller, like, right, I play games with the piano. So I have like Mario Kart of me playing the piano, like Hades, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's got to the point where, you know, I think it would be harder for you to use a controller than it would be your piano. Like,
It's not too bad, actually. I believe it or not, I do play games with the controller off stream.
Every time I've seen John pick up a controller to play something, he's been just fine.
yeah, I always imagine he'll do it like I imagine you'll be like, you've played a game with a piano for like the last sort of 6 hours or so, and you'll be like, right, I'm going to use my controller now. Oh, how does it? I don't know how this works.
Where's the C sharp note? What the heck?
Yeah, it's like right. It's like what chord does this? I don't.
So with the YouTube channel though, it's like I kind of uploaded like live reactions, piano gaming, like music stuff. So once the Pokemon Gen 1 Cries on Piano thing took off, now it's like, oh, I found something that works.
Yes.
And now I've been doing a lot more Pokemon content. Now we're back into the experimental phase where it's like, all right, Pokemon seems to be doing pretty well versus like, some of the other stuff I've been uploading. So now that's why I did like the Route 2 performed by its Wild Pokemon Cry stuff, the memorizing the Kanto Pokédex. So I'm really leaning in on the Pokemon stuff. Yeah. And just seeing where it goes from there.
But it really works. I think you're really good as the Pokemon guy. I think that's good. Everyone's gonna like you'll see it in sort of like a year's time or so if you have like all kids like at school being like, oh man, did you see the Pokemon guy in the bomber hat? And they'll be like, yeah, he's really cool.
And it's also just trying to come up with video ideas that are timeless. It's I've definitely seen like there's definitely a lot of streamers that will just like upload like stream clips, right? Whether it's on TikTok or YouTube and stuff like that. And most of the time, those don't really do well. Like a lot of people like, yeah, there might be some funny moments, but people don't to put it, or since I don't have the right words to say it, like people don't care.
Yeah.
Right. They want to see more like scripted content. They want to see more like parodies or more like something that's a lot more entertaining to them than just like, oh, yep, here's a streaming clip, Or at the very least, they don't do as well as like something you would script out. So even with like the piano controller videos that I've done, like a lot of it might be like, oh, I'm explaining like how I play Hades on the piano, but then it's just a lot of like gameplay clips of me doing it. So it didn't really do that well because people don't really care for like stream clips, Whereas like if I'm doing like a whole video on how I memorize the Kanto Pokédex, that's going to do a lot better because that's a timeless thing that anyone can go back to at any point. It's like, oh, some person maybe a year from now be like, oh, I wish I could memorize the Kanto Pokédex, and then they come across that video, Even stuff like live reactions are a lot more like in the moment. Like you can do a live reaction like to like the Nintendo Directs. That's like what I do, but after some time has passed, like nobody's looking up those live reactions.
Yeah,
they're
probably
a lot of smaller streamers, because it's a lot more like, all right, RPG, Mario RPG is already out.
Yeah.
So my live reaction to Mario RPG isn't really like people don't really care because people are now looking up the speed runs or the guides on how to find this coin or you know what I mean. So there's always kind of like something will take off and then it's just experimenting from there, coming up with new ideas. How do I keep the channel continually growing and progressing and getting more people to come in and viewers and subscribe and all that,
Yeah, absolutely. So again, as you've mentioned it, a big part of your channel is that you play games using your keyboard or piano. What made you want to start doing this, and do you feel it's made your streams more fun? And you've been doing that for about 2 years as well now, right? Like
about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like this show started about the time you started doing piano stuff. So
right. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. It's definitely had its like ups and downs, and I think that's just sort of normal stream stuff. Like I'll have some streams where like a lot of people are in, and then there's some kind of ones that are a lot more quiet or low key, or But in terms of like why I wanted to do it, again, I found a passion with streaming and YouTube and like content creation and stuff, and it really stemmed from like how do I stand out from other streamers? What can I do for people to watch my streams versus someone else's streams in terms of like, hey, I'm playing Mario Kart. Well, there's hundreds of people who are playing Mario Kart. Playing Zelda. I love Zelda. I love like Nintendo stuff, Pokemon, or if I do Hades, whatever it is, whatever topic, whatever game. I guess it's like there's hundreds, thousands, millions of people that play all these games and stream all these games. So how does one stand out from the crowd? So when I put in my title that like I'm using a piano controller, like oftentimes I'll get new people that come in and be like, wait, you're playing this on a piano? Like I've never seen that before. I've never heard of that before. So I got a lot of traction just by doing something different, just by doing something that a lot of people aren't really doing.
Didn't you also meet some people doing that too?
Yep.
And do like a nice collaborative effort? That was so freaking cool.
So there is a bit of a like a small niche of that where there's other streamers out there that do play games with other instruments and stuff. And as Hal was saying, I did a collaboration once with a couple people. CZR drums, so we were all playing Elden Ring together. Me on my piano, CZR drums on the drums, naturally. Dr. Decomposing, who played on an electric saxophone.
Yeah, I've seen
It's
some.
actually
I've seen
Aerophone.
some of his streams. He plays.
And
I saw him
then,
playing Dark Souls.
Yeah. And then there was a girl named Lettuce for Days, and she played on a harp.
Wow.
And so the four of us would be playing Elden Ring. It's like, yep, me on my piano, him on the drums, like, you know, doing all the crazy stuff, you know. Dr. Decomposing especially has been doing really, really well. Actually, him and CZR have been doing really good. CZR does a lot of like speed runs on Mario 64 now with his drums.
So I remember saying to you one time, I was like, "Oh man, I've just seen this guy beat the world record of speedrun on Mario on his drums," and you were like, "Yeah, I know that guy. We hang out." And I'm like, "Oh, of course you do."
Yeah.
Like,
Yep, I've streamed with him, you know. And then there's Dr. Decomposing, who's been doing a lot of like Elden Ring speed runs and different challenge runs and stuff like that with the saxophone, of course. And actually, just to kind of stem from that too, so doing the piano gaming has been really good. It's been fairly successful because, you know, it's a lot of people that come in and be like, oh, I've never seen that before. But now I sort of reached that point where like I'm kind of just playing games with the piano. It's sort of like, not that it's like lost its appeal, but I definitely think like at least within the more tight-knit community and maybe extended communities, like everyone just knows like, oh yeah, like John just plays games with the piano now, right? And even for when we translate to YouTube, this is also a struggle with like the piano controller videos that I made, is because like nobody is really searching for piano controller games, like gaming on YouTube, because it doesn't really exist. That niche doesn't really exist just yet. So now it's like, well, how do I take it even further, you know? And I could do stuff like speed runs, you know, because speed running is a lot more of a popular topic and genre, a search, you know, that people look for. So if I were to categorize myself with speed running, then it might start getting more traction, because now it's like, oh, cool, this guy's speedrunning, but he's speedrunning with a piano. What, you know? Yeah. But I'm not sure if I want to do speedrunning. I don't know if I have time to do speedrunning. There's so many things I want to do on stream. So I'm kind of in this sort of, I don't know what you would call it, just sort of like in this in-between where it's like, where do I go? How do I progress what I already do, you know?
I definitely...
Speedrunning would be tough to add in because there's so much preparation and learning that just comes with learning like the tricks and like the routes and this, that, and the other, like for speedrunning. As somebody who watches a lot of speedrunning.
Sure.
Yeah.
That would be a hard one.
But no, I definitely get what you mean. Like, I know I've done like, I think I've done 7 one-handed games now on the stream. Something like that, 6 or 7. But I'm like, and I've when I've mentioned it to a few people, they've been like, "Oh, you play games one-handed? That's really cool." Like that's like such a weird thing. But I'm like, I don't want to, if I want to commit to doing that for like my whole every stream being like a one-handed thing. Sure. Like it's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if anything, I would actually say that it's better that you don't do it all the time, because then when you do it, it's a lot more of an event, right? It's like, oh, like I'm gonna be doing this game now with one hand.
Yeah, that's...
Whereas like that might be the problem with my piano thing too, is like because I just do it all the time, people be kind of
become used to it,
you know. So now it's not really like
what you should do,
or like
maybe like next time you start a new game, just like be like, gonna play it, get like Switch controller. Just to see if everyone freaks out.
Yeah, I
like,
guess I could.
Like, hey guys, I'm
playing on an actual controller? What?
Yeah.
Single Joy-Con, like just transcend this into using weird controllers.
Yeah, like
Guitar Hero controller.
Mario RPG Dance Mat. Let's go.
Because the person did the Smash tournaments as the Guitar Hero controller. That's like a gimmick that somebody had, is they would compete in like competitive melee with a fucking Guitar Hero guitar.
That's cool.
I've actually I haven't found a way to keybind it yet, but I've wanted to keybind my actual guitar to be a controller next, but I haven't found out a way to do it yet. It doesn't work the same way as the piano does, because piano's MIDI and my guitar isn't.
Yeah.
So.
It'd probably
Yeah,
have
it's
to
cool.
be like something that the guitar sent to the MIDI, that the MIDI sent to the.
So,
And that seems convoluted.
So for me to play guitar on stream, like for it to come through the stream, my guitar plugs into my amp, and then there's a cable that goes from my amp to the computer, and so that's how stream can hear my guitar whenever I do. It's been a while, like long time since I've done it.
And the guitar go through the
Um,
MIDI?
Guitar can't go through MIDI, but I'm wondering if there's a way from guitar to amp cable to the computer, if there's some kind of program that might be able to read whatever, like.
So you've
like,
played? Have
things
you?
like a quarter inch? Yeah.
Have you played Rocksmith?
Guitar Hero is like what I played.
Okay.
And such a long time ago.
Could-
So not Rocksmith or.
But Rocksmith,
I played a little bit of Rock Band. Yeah.
but Rocksmith's different because it uses a real instrument. It doesn't use a plastic one.
Right. Yeah. I never played that one.
Right. But my idea was like because how it works is you just plug your like jack into your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever, and then it tells you what frets you need to play. But essentially like Guitar Hero, but with it the actual music. So it's just like play this fret on this string. But if there's a way for it to do that and know what you've played, there must be a way for then a computer to know what you've played and then for you to make that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
It's
how you do
definitely
it,
out there,
but
I just got to figure it out. I got to
Sure.
figure out. I haven't actually got to sat down to actually try to figure it out. So.
cool. All right then.
So-
Why you pay me the big bucks?
Just
Just imagine I ADHD focus and figure this out for you and then send you just like a tutorial.
I would be totally down for
That's
that.
something that could very well happen because I did learn how to break an apple in half in the middle of the
I
night
saw.
one night.
That's true.
This
I
is
can now break apples in half.
there we go. We need to make Hal our ADHD superhero. She's already got her power. It just needs focusing.
I'm so sorry. I do keep interrupting. I feel bad.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So John, is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Yes. So, you are a musician as well,
Yes.
and the question I have for you is, it's kind of a couple questions because it depends.
That's fine.
On your situation, but the first part of it is, what is your least favorite genre of
Ooh.
music? And on top of that, have you ever had to perform or play that genre of music? And if you haven't, what has been your least favorite performance that you've had to do? Like, what kind of situation where it's like, oh, I really don't want to be playing this kind of music or this with this band? Like,
I haven't really had any situations like that because you vastly overestimate how much in demand I am as a musician. Like, there is a reason I am doing everything myself and write everything myself. Like, which I mean, it's fine. I love writing songs and stuff, but for me, it's very much
sure.
more like a therapeutic thing, I guess.
Okay.
That's why I know from like the couple of little things I have sent you, you've sort of gone, oh yeah, I can tell this is very from the heart and stuff. It's like that is how a lot of my writing is because it is just processing. You know, like the heavier songs I do, it's like, hey, I'm really fucked off about this thing. Let's like let's like play something like loud and screamy, and then it's or
Right.
most of the songs I write, if we're being honest, is about Katie. So it's just like this is my like weird, awkward love like emotions and stuff, you know. But so I don't really know if I have a least favorite genre. I mean, I guess I don't really like sort of I guess it would be like grimy, like hip hop sort of. I don't know. I mean, I guess some of it's alright, but there's I don't really know how to genre. There's a very specific like type of like I think it's grime sort of stuff that I'm not really
Okay.
like a fan of. But then at the same time, I have this problem a lot. I really like rapping, but I just don't tend to like the music the rap is usually over.
Okay.
That is why,
Fair.
yeah, you know, I guess that's sort of, I guess the appeal to like some early 2000s new metal.
You mentioned rap though. Do you mean like UK rap or like American rap?
Any?
Because it's very
either.
different.
Well,
Like when you just immediately think about rap music, are you thinking about some of that weird like London rap or like just rap as a grand scheme?
God, I couldn't
'Cause,
even
like,
tell you.
I like a lot of UK stuff. There's a
I
couple.
like how you said weird London rap.
Yeah.
There's like a couple like I don't know.
I know exactly what you mean now.
My ex-husband used to listen to a lot of rap and hip hop, and I love rap and hip hop, but he'd play a couple of like weird weird London rap artist.
Is that
I
like
was just
so? Like when you get the big rap albums in America and stuff, they always start off with like the yeah represent like whatever, and it is weird London rap, which is like yeah, all right, mate, come on.
I like Xavier Wolf.
Yeah,
I think he's English.
Sure. I've never heard of him, but go on. There's this thing as well, actually. Since I don't have Sky TV anymore, I don't learn a lot of new music. A lot of my new music used to come from like Kerrang and Scuzz and stuff. I don't even think Scuzz is still a channel anymore. But you know.
It's hard to even determine what's a genre and what's not a genre because like I just did my Spotify Wrapped or whatever.
Sure.
And one of the genres it gave me as a genre that I like listened to, it was in my top 5, was Dirty South Rap. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean that is the other thing, isn't it? There's so many subgenres of everything nowadays.
Like,
that
what
it's
the fuck? Like, it had rap, hip hop, Dirty South Rap.
Dirty South. Yeah.
What is? I learned what it is. I've googled it. It's like Ludacris, 3 6 Mafia, like T.I., that kind of rap.
Hey.
But
like continuing my old man thing. I've heard of Ludacris. That's one I couldn't tell you one of his songs, but I've heard of him. That's a name I know.
He was in the Fast and Furious movies.
I haven't seen them, but go on. I'm aware of them existing. I think I've seen the first one, maybe. I don't know.
They're all good.
I'm sure they are.
They're
But
amazing.
I'm not interested in cars, and I don't.
It doesn't even matter that there's cars. They're just really good action movies.
I don't watch films very
Do you
much.
not like action movies?
I mean, they're fine. They're okay.
I love stupid action movies that I can turn my brain off and watch and just enjoy the explosions.
Generally, like the films I tend to watch are like mostly I watch comedies and stuff, but like or it would be kids films. Like I love like all like the Pixar and stuff or DreamWorks or. Well, I say that anything like before streaming happened is really good. Since streaming is less so. Or I tend to watch like really like messy horror films.
I do like a good slasher.
Mm.
I love seeing lots of gore,
Yeah.
blood everywhere.
That's where I'm the opposite. I'm not big on horror or gore.
No. But well, I think the thing with horror is that it either needs to have a really good story or it needs to be really messy. Like I feel like if it's not
If it's really interesting, then I think I would get into it.
So like,
sure.
like I'm a really big like Saw fan, and I think that's because they actually have like a good story to justify the sort of killing and stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people don't agree and would say, at least certainly after the first 3 or so, wouldn't agree. But I think they were all pretty good. Except maybe 8 and 9, but like the first 7, and then
Saw?
Yeah,
I love the Saw.
yeah, and I think they're really
I
good.
think they're all great.
I think they're really clever, and like they've got a good story to back up the murdering and stuff. But then like
And eventually it didn't. It kind of got away from, I guess, like the last couple maybe. But
the newest one that they just did, where they've gone back to having like Tobin Bell in it, I thought was really good.
I also like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
But then that's the flip side, isn't it? Like it doesn't have to have such a great story if it's just really fun and messy. Like that's the other way
the
for.
Scream movies are good. But slashers don't really have to have a coherent story that makes a lot of sense.
No, you see.
Like, have you ever seen Jason X?
I haven't. No, I haven't seen many of the classic slashers, and one of my friends at work is really into slashers, and he's trying to get me into them recently. He's just lent me the Terrifier films to watch because he said they're like super fucked up and disturbed. And he's like, if you can sit through these and not be like put off, then you can sit through anything. Like,
the most disturbing movie I ever watched was A Requiem for a Dream.
I haven't seen it. I've heard the name.
It made me feel extraordinarily dirty.
Oh dear.
I might know the
I just
song.
felt
There's
unclean,
no
like I
song.
needed to take a
Yeah,
shower.
the soundtrack for that film is like amazing.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. I think I know the music. don't think I've ever
I
seen
know the
film.
story behind it,
It's
but I
got Jared Leto, I think.
he's in it. I'll buy it.
Yeah, Jared Leto's like one of the main characters, and it just like follows the story of like 3 different people and their like overall experience with things.
Cool.
I'll say.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good one, and it's like the scariest movie I've almost ever watched.
Wow.
Just because it like was so realistic and like it doesn't hit close to home for me personally, but like it hits close to home in terms of like a thing I know a lot of people deal with.
Sure. Right, let's move on to our next part. We have also have next thing on the show is the spread the wholesome section of the show, where I've asked each of my guests to bring along a streamer that they recommend, that they want to shout out and sort of tell you a bit about why they're so great. As a way to, spread the wholesome of this show even further outfield, not from the people who are just here. So who would like to shout out their person?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
Just in case anybody picked this person, I just wanted to get
Yeah,
there, so
I was going to say
I could go
that
first.
that
I have
that
to come up with somebody else on a.
that was
yeah.
absolutely the response of somebody who's worried everyone else has picked their person. Go for it.
So I'm going with Nate, aka the Third Knight. The Friendo Your Endo that Prez puts on.
Yes.
Who is also a great secondary mention. Prez is amazing. I love Prez.
We all love Prez.
How do you do Third Night? Is it 3RD or is it THIRD?
I think it's a 3. I think it's like 3RD.
Yeah, it's the 3RD. Wait, here, I'll copy it. Let me just copy paste. The Third Knight.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so Nate, aka the Third Knight, he is working with Prez this year, and our great friend Tony,
Yep.
Hydroxide Ant, also an amazing human being, to host the Friendo Your Endo.
Mm-hmm.
After some controversy with a redacted streamer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that like Prez is bringing in the help of 2 people, because the show has been pretty long in past years. So I think having a couple more hands in the pot are gonna help. But Nate has just like some of the most like sweet and wholesome energy that exists. Like I love just popping into his streams, because as soon as I say hi, like his whole face lights up. He's just like, "Hi, Hal," and it's just the sweetest
Nate's
thing
awesome.
ever.
To be fair though,
I'm
Hal,
like-
that is a normal response to you.
Stop. I do love Nate though. He's a variety streamer through and through. He I believe right now is playing a cosplay lot where he's doing Pokemon Scarlet Violet, and he's dressing as different characters. Like sometimes he's Brock, sometimes he's Misty. That's my favorite because he wears these booty shorts. And then he'll also dress as Ash. Oh, and then sometimes he's just Nate, which is also great.
Mm-hmm. There's a
but
slight hint of
he'll-
disappointment there. Sometimes he's just himself, and I suppose that's fine.
No, I said, which is also great. I made a rhyme, okay?
Okay.
But the booty shorts are my favorite.
Yeah.
I do like the booty shorts. But then he's also playing Super Mario Sunshine,
Yep.
which I don't see a ton of people play.
No.
Like I see people play Super Mario 64,
Mhm.
and then I played Super Mario Galaxy on stream myself. But like in my circle, I don't see a lot of Super Mario Sunshine.
Sunshine
And
is
then
one of
he
those
had
underrated
just-
games, I think.
Finished Delphina Plaza. It's so good.
It is.
But
Amazing
and then he
game.
just finished Hades.
Oh.
And honestly, Hades is kind of what like really like brought me into Nate's stream,
Mhm.
and like other than a Nate, of course, but like brought me there in terms of gameplay and made me want to stay, because he did play through Hades. I feel like there's something else on his roster that I can't remember, but anyway.
But the
he's
best
a
way to
great
find
guy.
out is going to check him out.
Yes.
Yes.
At the Third Night. Twitch.tv/the Third Night. If
Mhm.
you don't follow, like, comment, subscribe right now.
You know what?
And he also raps. He does raps. When
Oh,
he gets
wow.
raids, he does a fucking rap. He's
Right.
got like 3 or 4 different little raps he does when you raid him, and it's great.
I'm going to do it. So I've actually never hung out with him at all. So I'm going to do it now. I've just followed him. There you go. I'll join in.
I'm glad that I sold this to at least one person. Nate's awesome.
There you go.
I'm
That's
going to
that's what I
that.
mean
I'll
by
be right
all the cameras went off. But there you go.
Go, run, John,
All
run!
right, you go. We.
Exclamation point bathroom in John's chat.
Well, I guess while John's away then, Hyun, who do you want to shout out?
Oh, cool. I'll go ahead, I guess. Ooh, sorry. Need water.
I need to wet the whistle for the whole big spill.
Yeah. So actually, I'm gonna shout out my fellow VTuber homie, Mirage Omega is his full name, I guess. He's a very his avatar's so cute. He's a computer virus.
Oh, cool.
He is so adorable, but he's such a good friend. He's one of the first few VTuber friends I made that constantly hung out in his channel, and he just has such a good vibe. He plays a lot of retro and JRPGs, and he plays a lot of things I would probably not play, but somehow has gotten me interested in all of the things he does. Because I would never play them, but he makes it so fun and interesting. He's also so kind and so funny. And probably the best part is his community. He has such a nice, very friendly community.
That's nice.
But it's also very chaotic. There is a lot of chaos that goes on. He has like tons of redeems that just like play whenever. Probably interrupting him like all the time. It's just good fun chaos, and it's been so much fun. I've been kind of sad I haven't been recently. We've been missing each other kind of lately because he's been streaming at night and I have been streaming less, and like at times when he's sleeping. So I feel like we've like recently been bumping into each other, and so I just was like, oh, let me shout him out because he is like such a genuinely good guy. So definitely check him out, Mirage Omega.
Okay. Okay, so in case you missed that, John, Mirage Omega is a computer virus VTuber. How cool is that?
Oh, interesting. I'm actually looking at his channel now. I just followed it. I see a lot of games that I like. Sea of Stars, Mario RPG, Suika.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mario Wonder.
Most of these games are so fun, but I would probably never play them. But it's just so much fun, like, seeing them play through him, and it's gotten me interested to, like, try them out, because I would normally never pick any of this.
Nice.
Nice.
John, who would you like to shout out?
Nice. I would like to shout out this guy. I'm going to type it out in chat.
Okay.
Okay. His name is Te Saxophonist. It's like the saxophonist, but
Te, in lead. Yeah.
swap. Like Te Saxophonist.
Like rar.
So he is a bit of a variety streamer, but what he likes to do in the beginning of his streams is do a lot of like he calls them his daily dulls. I guess you could say. So it's kind of like think like Wordle, but like other stuff. Like there's a lot of like guessing these video games, and guessing this like these states, crossword puzzles and stuff like that.
All right.
And then he kind of does a variety of stuff. Like he's been playing a lot of Sekiro. He loves Mario RPG. But he also every now and then will play games with a piano. He's another instrument. So he's more infamous for playing Hollow Knight with a little piano MIDI controller.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which I've been wanting to do too, because I freaking love Hollow Knight. I mean, well, I'm waiting for Silk Song, but we're never getting Silk Song, so.
Hashtag Silk Song
Maybe
win.
someday. Hashtag Silk Song win.
You'll get it just after Half-Life 3.
Yeah, right. No, but he's very entertaining. He's very awesome. He has a banana costume that he puts on sometimes. He also just turns into this like animated bit banana.
Okay.
I love bananas.
Funny. And I think sometimes he'll do music streams, but it's not as often. But yeah, he likes a lot of like the Souls like games like Sekiro. And you'll occasionally find him playing with a piano as well. He has a little dog named Banjo too.
Banjo?
A little like beagle, a little beagle.
A beagle named Banjo? That's perfect, because beagles are annoying as fuck.
What?
Whoa, that was some outrage.
They make
not
so
Banjo.
much
Banjo's
noise.
cute.
They make so much noise. They're so annoying. Oh, jeez.
Well, Banjo is very, very good. Oh, yes, Flippy knows.
Does it make a lot of noise like a beagle? Like beagles make a lot of noise.
Whenever Banjo's on stream, he doesn't.
Okay. Then maybe
he's pretty well trained.
He's a good beagle. Because all the beagles I've ever known just make so much noise, it's annoying. They howl and yowl.
Really?
Oh! You know.
Are you sure you're not thinking of a chihuahua? I feel like
Those chihuahuas are like.
Interesting thing while you're talking about like doing dog things. I can speak Basset Hound. It's one of my few. Yeah, it's one of my few. Basset Hounds go. There you go.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what my friend's Basset Hound always used to sound.
He has manners. Good.
I like
That's a
Basset.
good dog sound. If Barry could hear that, she'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah. There you go. It's one of my few talents is I can basically do the Basset Hound noise. I think it's because they've got the same sort of, like sad boy vibes as I do. They're just the dog version.
The hush puppy mascot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there you go. There's some recommended streamers that you should all go and check out. Normally, I do leave these to my guests, and I don't do any. But I actually have a couple I do just want to add on today as a special thing. Maybe because it's the season finale. I don't know.
Season finale.
Yeah.
Season finale.
But I've recently met because I need to get back into doing them. I used to do like regularly once a week, and where I do like a spread the wholesome tweet, and I just be like, hey, here's a streamer I like, go and check them out. And I need to get back into doing that because that was a nice idea. So I thought about doing one for this streamer, but then I thought, why not just tell everyone about them on the chat show? Wouldn't that just be easier? So I've recently met a really small, sort of streamer, but she's really lovely, and I just think that
Oh, you were right about the black boxes.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
it's really annoying. I was just kind of double checking their name and make sure I didn't spell it right. And then I have to load up Discord again and then alt tab out. It's the only way to make it come
Nobody
back.
can see me picking my nose right now except you. Oh, never mind.
But yeah, so a small streamer, but she's really, really nice, really friendly. She streams from her PlayStation, so it's all not as fancy as a lot of people's streams, but she's really nice. But Cthulhu Oracle is just such a really cool person if you want some chill streams and stuff. So I wanted to shout her out as just helping out smaller people.
We love a Cthulhu.
Yeah. That's it, and I like to help out some of the smaller people. And like I say, I've recently started watching her, and she's really cool. And then, also the other one I just wanted to quickly do is someone who has been nice enough to be on this show earlier this year. But I wanted to do a quick shout out for Ivory, just because I know that she's been having a bit of confidence issues with streaming lately. She's sort of being a bit maybe not on her best or whatever, which is a shame because she's genuinely one of my favourite people on Twitch. I think she's incredible. She's so wonderful to watch, so entertaining, and just such an all-round lovely person.
It didn't do the shout out.
I know. I'm just... Well, I don't know now. It's probably because I spelled it wrong. I'll have to...
Maybe there's a cooldown. Maybe you have a cooldown on the show.
I think I do have a
Maybe
cooldown.
you have a hella
Maybe.
cooldown.
Probably both. Is there a Y in it? See, look.
Ivory?
No, in... Gonna... So like that. It is. There is a Y in it, that's why.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I just searched it.
Oh, Gayle?
Yeah. There you go. Like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I know she's been having a bit of confidence issues lately, and she shouldn't do, because she's incredible and amazing, very entertaining, just a lovely person. So if we could hype her up a bit, that would be really cool.
She looks familiar.
You got it, mate.
Like I say, she was on the show a few episodes ago, towards the beginning of this year. I think she's one of the Friendo Yerendo panel this year, I want to say.
Okay.
So you might have seen her picture on the website, maybe. But
You know where I remember? I think I remember her from your show. I think
she was on with
she
Sid.
was on with Sydney.
Yeah.
That's
And
how I
they
remember.
spent the entire time talking about Final Fantasy, yeah. Because they're both really into 14, and it was just a big thing.
You mean the critically acclaimed?
The critically acclaimed RPG,
Oh,
yes,
no.
that you can play free up to level 60, including the first DLC, which I don't know the name of. That one, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go get a drink
Yeah,
while you
I'll
finish
have one
that.
for both of us. This one's kind of gross.
yeah,
Too
that
much sugar, doesn't it?
that one.
Barry.
Okay, before we get onto the next bit of the show, what is a chat show without a quick ad break? Hey everybody. I don't like to talk about this because it makes me really awkward to do so, but I do it once every 2 months on this show, just so I'm, pretending that I do talk about it. But there's absolutely never any obligation, but if anybody ever wants to, I do technically have a throne where you can buy gifts for me. I usually try and put gifts for Lyra on there as well, in case anyone likes to spoil my child. And there's a link to it down below. Don't like talking about it, it makes me a bit weird, but I've done it now. Cool. Right, so
You
next...
don't want to buy CK gifts? Buy me gifts.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy me gifts. I'm saying I find it very awkward to raise the subject of the fact that people can buy me gifts. Obviously, if people want to, I'm not going to stop them. But that's sort of
I
thing.
just have my chat randomly shoot it out there every so
Yeah,
often.
you see, a lot of people have
So
been.
I don't have to talk about it.
A lot of people
meta.
have said to me, "It's like, why don't you have a throne thing in your chat?" And I'm like, because it's weird. I don't know. It just makes me feel
It's
cringy.
not that weird.
It isn't.
Actually,
I feel the
I
same.
have a 12-inch dong that I haven't opened yet.
Why haven't you opened your dong? Do it now. Go get the dong.
Okay,
Get the
look,
dong.
look.
Get
Why am
the
I
dong.
not surprised?
Get the dong.
It's
Oh,
from
great.
Prez. Prez got it for me.
Prez did.
Look.
Really?
Yeah,
Look how it came.
it was her birthday present from Prez. Did you?
Oh my god.
This is how it was packaged.
Wait, are we
I
allowed
don't
to
know
open
how
that
to
on
open
stream?
that.
I don't know.
Very discreet. Very discreet.
Get that dog. Yeah.
It's a side up too. There's a side up in here too.
Ah.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for that side arc. It's been trapped in there with a 12-inch dong for ages.
Oh my god, be careful you don't like.
Don't cut the dong.
I know, it's like, oh no!
The dong or the duck.
I was hoping that she'd open it and it would just be like, boing.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
You'd be kidding me.
Well, there's the side arc.
Whoa, he was very squished in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the most amazing vacuum packing I've ever seen. That is a really big side arc.
Oh.
Side arc.
I love it. There it is.
Oh my god.
What do you do with this?
Or the side up was shoved in there with that.
I was gonna say, and I feel so bad that I feel bad as a human for the people packing it that they didn't put it between Psyduck's legs. I just there's such a missed opportunity, and I just. I mean, if you're going to package that sort of thing, how could you not have a sense of humor?
It's
Thank you.
right there.
There
You
we've
don't
got
anymore.
John for the meta. That's our thumbnail, right? Like,
I would potentially recommend not.
it's the massive dong. I got it.
You might get demonetized.
I'm not big enough YouTube to be monetized anyway. So
Oh,
by the way, if you guys want an update, this now just tastes like a cherry beer, which is much better than what it started.
okay. Hate that it has a face too. Quiet.
Oh my god.
It has a face too, so you can name it. Okay, well we've lost Hal.
I can't believe you, Hal. I can't believe.
Okay, so the next part of our show is just going to be a general chat. I mean, I'm aware we've ended up having a much more chatty time during the interviews than normally on this show, but so we've kind of hit a lot of chat anyway. But you know,
Destruction.
Oh my god.
I thought I'd like sort of heading into this little chat bit. Something I kind of just a little anecdote I wanted to throw out there because I thought it would be interesting for Hyun because I know that obviously Hao and John have been friends for forever. So Hyun might
Forever.
yeah. So I don't hopefully not, but Hyun might feel a little I guess intimidated coming into the chat. So I thought I would let you know a fun thing about when I was first meeting Hao and John. So I met Hal a couple of months before, but she would always talk about John in like every stream I was in. But never on a first name basis. It would always be like, oh, and I was watching Elementality, and he was really cool, and he was doing this. Oh yeah, Elementality was doing this thing, and like I had in my mind that Elementality was like this huge streamer with like millions of follows, and like sort of would get thousands of views every time because from how she talked about him. He just sounded like the biggest shit, like. And like, I mean, don't get me.
You came in, you're like, oh.
No. And I came in, and don't get me wrong. And the first stream of John's I don't know if it was the first one or it might have been like the second. Certainly one of the very early ones. So I was still a very new, like an unknown person to him, and he was playing Mario Kart, and he was just like, "Hey CK, come play Mario Kart with us, no worries." Like, and I was just like, damn, that was really friendly. That I'm just some random person on the internet. He has no idea who I am. I could have gone on his stream and been like super hella racist or something. You know, he didn't care. He was just like, hey, just
would have got banned.
Well, yeah, obviously, but you know, it's a risk with new people. You know.
Yeah, of course.
But you were like, no worries, just jump in and play with all my friends, and it doesn't matter. And that was just really nice and friendly. But you know, you weren't like. I mean, you definitely have the talent and the ability to be a super huge streamer. Like, I have no doubts that could easily happen for you. You know, he is nominated Streamer of the Year this year. Like, everyone could vote for him.
I am.
Everyone could vote for him to win it. He definitely deserves it. But my point is that, like, you just weren't like this sort of super like name on Twitch, which is very much the impression I got from like how Hal was talking about you all the time.
You should have seen when my ex-husband saw how many subs I had gifted John.
Yeah.
I think you're still one of the top.
I'm sure.
I'm like, I've got the 150 box, I think. But in Mango stream, I'm at the 350 box. He would die at that.
Jeez.
And I think I've got 100 in Prez. I'm a gift giver by nature. I can't help it.
You're very generous.
Yeah.
Gift giving is
Number
my
2.
love language.
I would really like.
2 on mine.
I'd really like. Oh wow, competition. Who's number 1? Can we beat them?
Shin Raven is number 1 with 200.
It's only 50 to go.
And
How?
How's that?
So that Shin Raven
155.
keeps a constant sub himself. Like, I don't think he like lets it renew every month.
Oh, I think
Shin
maybe,
Raven's
yeah.
he's an interesting fellow when it comes to
Wait,
that.
Halnet, did you type exclamation point bathroom in my chat when I went to the bathroom earlier? I see it.
Yeah, she did.
I see it here. I pulled up my channel.
You went to the bathroom. We're on camera together. It
Why are you in
counts.
my chat? Get out of my chat.
I went there just to type that. I promise. I don't
I
even
know,
have
I
it up
see.
right now.
Alright, everybody who's
Kelly's
watching
left the
now.
bathroom 7 times.
I was gonna say, everybody who's
Because
watching
nobody
now.
knows about the bathroom command.
Let's all just exclamation mark bathroom in John's chat.
No,
Go for it.
no. I think it's only mods.
Well,
I don't.
there's only one way to find out. Everybody.
It might not be. Let's not find out. I want it to be accurate.
Sorry.
Let's go back to CK's chat.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got saying, CK? What's the next part of the show, buddy?
Well, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Does anybody have? I don't have a bathroom thing in mind. Maybe I should. I do pee a lot. I'll add one for you. Next time you come here, there'll be an exclamation mark bathroom chat. But I'm like, hey, I've got a bladder condition and diabetes. I pee all the time. Like, come on. So basically, it's just a chat. If any of you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free to raise it, and we can talk about it. I do have one more topic I kind of want to talk about at some point. But if you guys have anything you want to go to, please.
No, go for it.
Okay. Kind of inspired by Hal being here. I thought I'd give you the time. Do any of you have any like interesting foods from other countries that you find interesting? Or do you want to ask about any weird British foods? Because I know that Hal has an obsession with beans on toast. Because she didn't. Which was a big thing for us. Because she was trying to ask me about beans on toast, and I didn't know that American beans and British beans were different. So I was like, it's literally just put beans on toast, and she was like, how can it be beans on toast? Like,
What's the difference?
so
Like what is
your beans are in? Is it a brown sugar? How I can't hear you anymore.
think
You've
you're muted,
muted.
Hal.
How you've muted yourself?
Okay.
Your beans are in brown
so-
sugar, right?
in America,
Hmm.
baked beans are made with brown sugar.
Yeah.
And they're
Also, that should
sweet.
explain.
And then in the UK, baked beans are made with a tomato base.
Yep.
So they're a little bit. I mean, they're sweet still because tomato is sweet,
Okay.
but
And-
like it's more on the savory side.
They also
And
have
at
quite a lot of
Trader
sugar added
Joe's,
in.
We had these cannellini beans, or however the fuck you say that word,
Hmm.
that had a tomato base, and I would put those bitches on toast, and it's so good. I don't know why people shit on beans on toast. Like that's like the shit on like the blood sausage or whatever. Like that's gross. Like,
Which is good.
but like beans on toast, like give that shit a chance because it is good. As long as you don't have, I don't think brown sugar beans would be good on toast like American baked beans. Like it has to be the tomato base, but like it is good.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
mean,
have
that
those at Trader Joe's
fine to me.
anymore.
It's a it's a pretty standard like breakfast, like big breakfast or small lunch here. Like if you just need like a quick
Yeah.
meal.
Beans on toast.
Beans
are
on
so
toast.
good.
Like quite often people just add like mountains of cheese to it. Sometimes people put like barbecue sauce with it or like Worcestershire sauce. But
I can never say that word, by the way.
Either.
For sure.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcester.
I say Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce.
You just sounded out.
Exactly. Oh man.
Ames,
I am
I've
someone
actually
who
never
is-
had Mexican baked beans. That sounds. That sounds good.
Okay, we'll add an
Drop the
exclamation.
recipe.
We'll add an exclamation. Wait, someone needs to remind me all these things. So I need to add exclamation mark bathroom and exclamation mark baked beans, which will explain the difference between UK and American baked beans.
But apparently there's Mexican baked beans too.
Yeah, well,
So you
I-
gotta explain all three.
So is it like tomato sauce but like with cumin
I mean, you can.
and like hot like I would do like serranos probably. Like what kind of bean? Like a pinto bean or like a black bean?
here's the other thing. I have no idea what type of bean a baked bean is. It's just a baked bean.
Cannellini.
Yeah. It's pinto bean.
Pinto. So pinto
Pinto.
bean, jalapeno or serrano, like some tomato like paste and tomato sauce. Like
Wait 1 second.
I can get down with this on a tortilla.
He's gonna go get a can. He's gonna go get a can of
Oh.
baked beans.
I'm a black
I like
beans kind of guy myself.
Well,
Always when I go to
pinto
Chipotle.
beans.
Hey,
Pinto beans have a time and a place. When I go to Chipotle though, I do half black, half pinto.
I'm all black beans.
Yeah.
I like pinto beans a lot, and I like
Yeah,
refried beans.
Ewan understands.
Yeah.
Right,
black
right.
beans are very black.
This is the gripping content that everyone wanted. Here's a can of baked beans.
Yeah.
And
What kind of bean is it?
she's gonna look. It just says beans. Ingredients: beans, 50%.
On the front, what's it say?
They can't reveal. They
It
can't
just says,
reveal what it
it
is.
just says beans in a rich tomato sauce.
Actually, I was watching a documentary on like the Heinz beans they make specifically in the UK, and they like, I think they actually do that on purpose so they don't like no one copies the recipe because it's like super secret or something.
I'm gonna say I'm probably not saying the word right. Cannellini? That has to be how you say it.
I think you're right. I think that's.
I think it's cannellini because, or like a Great Northern bean, like some sort of white bean. Like it's not a pinto bean, it's not a black bean. It's like some sort of white.
They are certainly white without the sauce. Yeah.
Like in America, I feel like it's cannellini that you use, or Great Northern beans, which are I think are kind of the same sort of bean.
Cannellini. I'm just kidding.
Cannellini could be right, but I like cannellini better.
I don't think that's right.
Wait, how
I'm just
do
trying to throw you off.
say
I'm just trolling.
Cannellini?
Yeah, that's what I said.
A can of leany. Yeah, they're just leany beans.
Cannellini.
They're just
I
leany.
was right.
Yeah, they're just leany beans, but they come in a can. It's a can of leany.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
saying the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, right. So I Google cannellini beans, and one of the few things that comes up is beans on toast. So I think I'm right.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm not even fucking British. Look at me. I know about the beans. I do like the beans.
Here you
I
go.
think, though, that
Wait,
I have
wait.
to make them.
You can get in touch. It's got a phone number you can phone if you want to ask them about their beans.
Oh, nice.
I can send that to you, Hal. I mean, I understand it would cost you an awful lot, like internationally, but you could maybe do it from work, and you could just phone them and ask them about their beans.
Psyduck.
Say,
He's so big.
duck.
He's a baby.
Say, duck.
Selena.
It's a weird compulsion.
How did we talk about beef? How did we start talking about beef? I forgot the question.
I think CK asked. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just if you wanted to know about any, if you had any interesting foods from other countries, or if you, as Americans, wanted to know about any weird British foods.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
British
Stolen
foods
seasonings,
exist.
yet all you eat are bland foods.
Wait, what's your
that's
favorite?
what Prez says,
I'm
and
just kidding.
it's
I'm
just
kidding.
pure racism.
It is. It absolutely is. I love being racist against white people.
Yeah, but I always say to Prez, so my big thing I've always said to all my friends is like, hey, if you ever end up in the UK, I'll cook. Like, I love cooking for my friends, and I was like, I'll cook you a home cooked meal. And I've now retracted that offer for Prez due to his just blatant racism about my cooking. He's never even eaten it, and it's just.
Wait, what's
who?
what's your favorite food?
What?
I guess. What is
Well-
your favorite like UK food? I guess.
So this is my favorite thing, or one of my favorite foods, and my thing I like to cook for people, which again is it's always a fun thing to talk to Americans about.
You've told me this.
Yeah, is toad in a hole.
Toad in a hole,
Oh,
yeah.
I think you might have told me this too, actually.
Yeah.
But I forget what it is.
So it's sausages in Yorkshire pudding, but then you also don't have Yorkshire pudding, and it's a very hard. It's kind of like. I mean, it isn't. It uses the same ingredients as pancakes. It's just milk, eggs, and flour.
Well, we have bread pudding. Like, bread pudding exists.
Well, I know what Yorkshire pudding is, but that's
Oh, okay.
wait.
That's cool.
But what is it?
Like,
What
bread pudding. Bread pudding is sweet.
It's not sweet though. Yorkshire pudding.
But you said the word pancake.
Yes.
Pancakes are sweet.
Well, pancakes. It depends what you were. As basic, they're not. They're just milk, eggs, and flour is all you need to make a pancake.
With sugar.
You don't have to add sugar.
I've never had a pancake that's not sweet.
Okay, well you can have savoury pancakes.
Well, yeah, with green onions and shit. But like,
But my point is, Yorkshire pudding is not sweet, but it uses the same ingredients. It is just milk, eggs, and flour. But you bake it rather than frying it,
Yeah.
and it goes all light and fluffy. And you tend to have them with like a roast dinner, so with your like meat, two veg, and gravy.
It looks really good. I just searched it up.
Mm.
It looks
Yeah,
amazing,
I've been wanting to.
It's super
wanting to
delicious.
make-
But basically, a toad in the hole is that, but with sausages cooked into the batter.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Oh, that's what I'm looking at, is the toad in the hole. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Toad in a hole. I'm gonna look this up now. This sounds crazy.
But I don't want to. My humble brag is that I make probably the best toad in the hole ever.
I mean, that's just like pigs in a blanket as casserole.
Sort of. Except it doesn't have. Traditionally, it doesn't have bacon in it. But that is one of the reasons that mine is better, because
Okay,
I do put bacon
okay.
in it.
For Americans, pigs in a blanket don't have bacon.
Then what is pigs in a blanket in America? 'Cause-
It's a hot dog wrapped in a crescent roll, or like
Yeah.
a sausage wrapped in a puff pastry. I
Oh.
know that in the UK, a pig in a blanket is a sausage wrapped in bacon.
yeah, chipotle.
But in America, it's a sausage wrapped in a crescent or puff pastry or some sort of
and they're
savory
little
Oh.
pictures,
pastry.
like, they're usually
Yeah,
tiny.
they're
Sure.
usually small. It's appetizer. I learned this so I have another streamer that's like in the UK. His name is Max. Do you know Max?
that the one you-
Meowtings.
No. I've heard the
So-
name, I
That
think.
sounds familiar.
I hang out a lot in Meowtings' stream, and he's in the UK. He's British. And we were like having the pig in a blanket discussion,
Mm.
and I didn't know before that discussion that like in the UK, pigs in a blanket are like sausages wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, we have them at
Whereas
Christmas.
In the US, pigs in a blanket are like sausages or hot dogs wrapped in some sort of like bread pastry. Like
Sure. So,
usually it's like a little sausages.
yeah,
and,
we used to
like,
little
crescent
chipotle
rolls.
sausages and then wrap them in bacon. And you
What
put
are
them under the
those little
turkey at
sausages
Christmas.
called here? What are they're called?
Are they not
Little
chipotle?
Smokies.
The little
Little
smokies.
Smokies. There's like little Smokies, they're like tiny, they're like this big, and they come in like a vacuum sealed package, and then you wrap it in like a little bit of crescent roll, and then you bake it.
Sure.
But you can also do it in full form hot dogs with like a crescent roll or puff pastry. But it's interesting because it's like your toad in a hole seems like a casserole of like our version of.
It would be similar, but it's not a pastry. It's more like a batter that they're in.
Well, yeah, you
But-
can also probably do it. Well, like corn dog slash. Yeah, corn dog, because corn dogs are a batter.
Okay.
It's basically a cornbread batter that you dip a hot dog in and then you fry it.
All right. I guess maybe like a baked corn dog then, possibly.
Yeah,
I mean, like
amazing.
when I Google toad in a hole, the first thing that comes up looks like a corn dog casserole.
Sure. But I would, I'd make you one if you come over and I'll make you one. That's my offer.
You have somewhere for me to
I'll
sleep?
try it.
I've got a sofa for you to sleep on. Admittedly,
Right on.
yeah. I was
I'll
gonna.
get a passport and I'll be on that.
I was gonna say I don't have a spare bedroom anymore because it's now a child's room. But hey, we're hoping we can maybe move to a bigger house next year, and then maybe we'll have a spare bedroom.
This side oak's really soft, y'all.
Yeah, I'm a bit jelly. I'm gonna get my new teddy. There you go.
I'm not gonna stroke the other thing on camera.
But off camera.
I'm good. Please don't.
I'll have to link you to my OnlyFans for that. I'm just joking. I don't have an OnlyFans.
I think you'd do really well
I
on
really am. I do not have an OnlyFans. Not that there's nothing wrong with having an
No.
OnlyFans, but I do
No.
not.
That's fine.
Get your bag, queen.
This is we took Lyra to Build-A-Bear for her birthday, and it was like, you can pick any bear you want, and she was like, I want a mermaid frog.
Oh.
I don't know why a mermaid frog exists, but
That Squirtle back there is a Build Bear.
that's cool.
The one laying down, his name's Julian. And there's
Julian.
a Krobus, and a blue Jumon, whatever the fuck it is in Stardew Valley.
Chicken.
Oddish, Cyndaquil. Mimikyu, but Sylveon. Very cool.
Oh.
I got Sid one of those, so she has one too.
I have a Mr. Saturn chilling right here.
Yeah, you do.
I was gonna say I don't have any of my toys down here. I've got
An Umbreon. I have this Yoshi.
all my toys are upstairs.
Plushies
But-
still left of me.
We're getting decreasing a decreasing amount of living room and an increasing amount of toys.
All the little Cyndaquil on your shoulder. Nice.
That's my only one near me. So.
Oh. Yeah, like I say, I've just got all of Lyra's toys around me. We got left over from her birthday a kind of deflated unicorn balloon.
Oh, that's so cool.
She did have a big number 2, but she bit through it because she's a little feral. But
I
yeah.
hear
Is
big
Cyndaquil-
number
is
2,
Cyndaquil
I
your
think
favorite
big poop.
starter?
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
Cyndaquil
yeah.
your favorite starter? Nice.
Cyndaquil! I have Cyndaquil right there.
Yeah, I see him. Oh my
It's
god, I have so many. I have so
it's
many
right there.
questions of Cyndaquil.
I think
I always pick
Cyndaquil as
Cyndaquil
the
for
base
Gen 2.
form is my favorite starter, though I do love Squirtle and Wartortle. But I don't like
Oh.
Blastoise very much.
I actually my favorite is the second form of Cyndaquil. So Quilava is like my actual
Quilava!
favorite. Yeah, it's like my actual favorite,
Nice.
but it's so hard to find plushies of Quilava.
So my
It's
actual
really-
favorite is Wartortle, which is right there. Actually, I'm gonna go get that plush because I bought it with you, John. I was with you when I bought that.
Right.
I've just
I
thought
feel like
actually.
it's pretty rare to hear people say that like the middle evolution's like their favorite.
I
It's usually
know.
like the final or the beginning one.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I guess it's because middles are like stepping stones, aren't they? It's like you either want the starting one because it's the one you catch, or the big one because it's the one you fight with.
Right.
It's so cute.
His ears are tall.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed.
I love this Wartortle. I paid $70 for this,
Whoa.
What?
but it's
So cute.
We have this Dragonite holding a Dratini plushie,
with a
and then he's wearing a
bomber.
small bomber hat.
God, he matches with you, John.
Do you remember? I used to
mean-
have the tiny bomber hat redeem.
You did.
And I would wear this on stream, but now I just leave it for Dragonite.
And Dragonite carries mail in the first Pokemon movie.
It is. I was going to say,
There's the
I
hologram.
True.
I was
Yeah,
wondering
yeah.
if it was supposed to be the Mailman Dragonite.
Right.
That's
No,
adorable.
just regular.
I was actually
Dragonite.
just thinking. I obviously do have one of my own teddies here that isn't Lyra's, because I've got obviously who normally joins me on stream when I don't have other people on stream with me. But I've got Night Shift Manager Umbreon.
Umbreon.
Oh, I have Umbreon. Umbreon.
Now, if you guys are familiar with Scarlet and Violet, I actually mouse hold.
Yeah.
I had a friend crochet this for my fiance
Wow.
as a gift.
Wow.
So we have all four of them.
Oh my god, that's so cute. You can see the crochet so clearly.
Yeah, here, I'll show you the
That's so
adults
cute.
first. 'Cause they have the most differences.
Wow, I wonder how long
One
that
has
took.
the pants, one has the. Yeah, but I'm actually not sure.
They're so cute. That's such a good job, though.
Right? And then the little babies are. They're so derpy. They're so derpy. I
Oh
love
my
it.
god, they look so,
So much
cute
light.
and derpy. Yeah.
I'm really excited that this has just become show and tell.
Yeah. Look at John scurry away.
He's gone. He's going to go get something.
Look at my sleepy Pikachu. Isn't
There
it
we
cute?
go. If I turn my light on,
Yeah.
now it's a little easier. Everything's not like illuminating, so now you can see it a little better.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
But
he's so
yeah,
adorable.
you get the idea.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
as a thought,
Yeah, I have too
We
many
actually just got.
Blippi has
Yeah,
a
but anyway.
sleeping,
Many
Blippi
plushies.
has a sleeping fucking, Vaporeon, so I have a sleeping Sylveon. Yeah,
You
yeah,
have-
oh,
There it is.
Aw, that's cool.
annoyingly, it's upstairs. Oh, I was going to go get you. I got Lyra a Pikachu for Christmas that's going.
Oh, nice.
Tony coming in with the raid. We were talking about you earlier.
Hi, Tony.
How's everybody doing? How? Wait, why am I echoing? Oh, because somebody's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John.
My bad. Hold on.
So
My speakers are loud. I took my headphones off.
that's all right. No worries.
All right, you're good now.
Cool. Hey, Tony, welcome in. Thank you. How was the chat show podcast thingy? Oh, background noise. That's what it's called. That's completely went out of my mind, and I really apologise. But how was it? How's everybody? Don't miss your mark. Thank you so much for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. Fennec Hollis, also thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. If I've mispronounced that name, then please tell me. But I hope you had a really good podcast, and I hope everybody had a lot of fun. We're all having a great time here. We've just descended into showing off all our Pokemon teddies. So if anybody has any Pokemon teddies they want to tell us about, please do. Oh, that's a Trubbish. Go right,
I didn't even know
yes.
there were Trubbish plushies.
Oh my god,
he's so soft.
How has all the plushies? She's got like the giant Wailord.
I like that leak. Whatever.
There's a
where did you
leak.
get that? There's a giant leak, and it's just amazing.
Oh no, there's a giant leak in Hale's house.
Oh no.
So I have this,
You purple up.
Oh.
and this.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Prez got me this one. I met Prez in person last year when I went to a Smash tournament. He lives close by to Detroit. I don't know where he lives, but within driving distance of Detroit, at the very least. And so he drove however long it was, an hour more or more, and which covers most of Michigan and Ohio. It's like an hour from Ohio. But he got me this! Look at the Squid Kid! Look how dramatic.
I like how he's popping in frame. Oh my god, the
And then the sleeping Sylveon.
Oh, those are adorable.
I am covered in plushes. But I have some even better than these guys.
I was gonna say, you've got the giant Waylord. I've seen that.
Come here, Piplup.
Hey, Kin, thanks for the lurk.
Sylveon.
Yeah, I have all my plushes like stored like up above my bookshelf because I have no more room on my bed. I have a ton of them too.
Oh my god. Yeah, we have more Pokemon plushies in the other room. We have a lot of blue ones. My fiance loves a lot of like the pastel blue, like the Dratini or Swablu, and Vaporeon's her favorite, and we have more Dragonite. I've got a lot more like ground types are my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Like a plushie
I
up
was just
here
about to
that's,
ask
like-
because it sounds like her type is like water dragon.
It's the big Mareep.
She's like water. My all-time. Oh, the Mareep. I forgot about that.
Wow.
She's got the huge
This is
Mareep.
my all-time favorite Pokemon. Is Flygon.
That's a cute Flygon plushie. I've never
Right?
seen a small one like that.
He's just
Of him.
he sit.
So cute.
Al has huge plushies.
Dude, that's such a huge Mareep. It's so large.
I really like. If I had sort of $400 just to spaff away, I would buy Hal the giant Lucario in an instant. I would just be like, here, have it. I don't know if you've seen that.
A giant.
Like an arrow.
Yeah, so you can buy a life-size Lucario. It's like sort of just about like this, rib high on like an adult. But it's about $450, I think.
I bet.
But it looks amazing. It's really cool. They did like a trailer for it when it came out and everything. Like it was.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's so many. I think my biggest one is that I have probably like it kind of looks the size of the Mareep, but I have a Cyndaquil the size of the Mareep that I
Wow.
just brought on. That's probably my biggest one.
See, again, I really want to go get my Celebi now, but like Kay's asleep and I don't want to bother her. I mean, I could.
I have a shiny Celebi.
I have a shiny
I can't
Celebi
even see
too.
Al's camera right now. I gotta shift over.
Is my shiny Celebi still downstairs?
Oh, there we go.
I don't think it is.
Oh my god, I like that little Sandshrew you have, John.
The Sandshrew.
I haven't seen the
Ground
Celebi.
types are my favorite.
Oh
Oh,
my god. Sandshrew's so cute.
that is a cute little Sandshrew.
The ground types: the Sandshrew, Cubone, Rhyhorn,
Oh wait.
Diglett, and even Aerodactyl. I got them all from the Pokemon Center in Japan when Nicole and I went there.
Oh,
That's so
nice.
cool. I love Celebi. Celebi's my favorite. I have a shiny.
It's shiny.
I have a shiny Celebi upstairs too now. I've got so like a proper life size, like this sort of big, like normal Celebi, and then I've got like a tiny Celebi, like shiny one like Hal has. And now back in the bin, you damn.
Oh no! I forgot Rhyhorn was on my head.
So I think now is the time. So everyone asks always like, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" And my much more interesting question, I think, is what's everybody's least favorite Pokemon?
Oh, that's
Oh
hard.
my god. I don't think I've ever actually
Oh,
thought
well, let me tell you, it's Happiny, and I hate the little fuck. And
Wait, who?
Peony? Why?
yeah, I don't like any of the Chansey family at all. It's really they really irritate me.
Really?
Like, but so my problem is I mean they've made it a lot easier in the Switch versions, but before then the more annoying type of evolutions were Stone evolutions and Happiness evolution. In the Chansey family, you have to do both of those. Because Happiny is a Dawnstone to Chansey, and then Chansey's Happiness to Blissey. So it was very irritating to get from one to the other. On top of that, they're just shit Pokemon. Their stats are dump. They don't do any damage. Like, I just don't... The only, like, actual use they have is if you put them in a double battle with a Slacking and Skill Swap.
I'm like looking through the list right now to see if there's anyone that stands out. That I'm like,
So I just really don't like them.
hate this one.
I had like this vivid memory of like having, I think like it was a level 64 Blissey because that was how long it took me to get the Chansey happy enough to evolve, and it just and I had this level 64 Blissey and it used Earthquake, which is one of the stronger moves in the game, on a level like 10 Pokemon, and the Earthquake was super effective and the Pokemon survived, and I was just like, Blissey, you're rubbish and I hate you.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I just
Zubat.
Zubat.
Fuck Zubat.
That's
yeah,
fair.
I guess Zubat's pretty notorious.
Yeah, I think
Zubat's my least favorite.
Zubat is a common one because of like the like Rock Tunnel and Mount Moon in the first game.
Yeah, it does hound you a lot. So
But,
I can see why people do.
I would actually anyone who says Zubat, I would retaliate with Spinder. Because if you ever did,
Linda.
it's like the little derpy teddy bear that's in the sooty area in Gen 3. Because if you ever try to farm enough soot to make all the flutes and stuff, you would have seen a billion Spinders, because it's the only Pokemon in that area.
There's Skarmory there too.
Is there?
Rarer.
Alright then.
Yeah.
I don't remember Skarmory. I remember an awful lot of Spinders.
the horde of Spindas. in
Yeah.
this area.
And I'm pretty sure I only
I
bothered
guess
to get like 2 of them.
Roxish is just ugly.
Mm.
Who?
Roxish? It's like Brux.
Oh yeah, Bruxus is ugly. It's like one of those waste of space Pokemon that like is just
Definitely.
there to be there.
Right? Like Pink Gold Peach. In Mario Kart. Right, Hal? Right, Hal?
There's been some nerves
Waste of
touched.
space. Should
Some-
have just been a peach skin.
Fuck
We all know
you!
it.
I like how heavy it is. It's heavier than Peach. They couldn't make a skin heavier than the regular one, but I still want to be feminine. But be heavy.
Yeah, I want to be feminine, but chunk.
I want to be.
I don't like those like the new ones that have come out that are like just could be anything. Like do you guys know Klefki? Like
Yeah.
the key Pokemon?
Klefki is
Oh,
another one that comes up.
Like
Literal like objects.
object.
that, like,
Yeah.
So-
I hate
Pokemon.
that
Okay.
shit. That's garbage.
Again, so
What about
so
like
Mind it as
Sinistea? Like Sinistea and like
Sinistea.
Poltegeist are really cool.
okay.
So-
They're just like teapots.
so
Okay,
my
just
my
'cause I like the aesthetic. I will say they're fine. Technically, they do belong in that
Well,
same realm.
so
What about like Sandygast? It's like a sandcastle.
I love
But
Sandygast. It's a
really
cool Pokemon.
The like shiny of Sandygast and like the castle
So-
are really cool. They're black,
and also,
the black sands in Japan.
Hyun, the main retaliation. So Klefki comes up a lot because people are like, it's just fucking keys. But the retaliation to that is, what about Voltorb? Everyone loves Voltorb,
It's
right?
just a fucking Pokeball. What about Sudowoodo?
Yeah, I mean,
It's just a fucking
They've had
tree.
it.
That's true.
What about
That's
Muck?
true.
Muck is just a pile of
No.
Come.
slime, gunk, whatever.
Whoa, another raid
Whoa.
from Lord Keon Star.
Hello, Raiders.
Oh,
Hey Keon, how you doing? How's it going?
How's it going?
How's it going? Oh, yeah, we can say that today because Howler's here. How you doing, Keon? What were you up to? And hey, hey Mooney, how you doing? Oh, did I spell it wrong? Your name is right there in front of me. I don't know. 2 R's. There is 2 R's. Thank you. God, that's bad, isn't it? I can't even copy. There you go. You're playing Lies of P. How was that going? That game is hard, if it's what everybody tells me.
It's a very Souls-like game, I think,
Mm.
right? Lies of P. It's,
Yes.
like, similar.
It's Souls, but you have to tell. Yeah, it's Souls, but Pinocchio.
Come on, Hal,
so,
don't just whip it out like that.
yeah, yeah, that's it. We all know that eventually I'm going to get banned because of Hal's dong.
I have a big old dong.
Hmm.
Listen, you can just say that's a worm, okay? You can just say it's a worm.
It's got a face.
It's got a face, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine's got an eye. Sorry.
Still looking through the list to see if there's anyone else that I just like
I mean, I think
really hate.
another contender, not necessarily passionately hate, but I think Love Disc is up there, and
Oh, look, this is so pretty though.
is it?
Should evolve into Bruxis.
Is it? It's just-
It should. A love disc should evolve into Bruxis.
actually,
yeah.
it should have evolved into a Limamola,
Yeah,
Well, that
in my
too.
opinion.
Love Disc eats children,
Love
but
Disc
I mean, most
children?
Pokemon
Good.
eat children.
Good.
Wait. So, if we're going to talk about messed up children in Pokemon, right? So the Pokemon Phantump is the Pokedex.
I love Phantom.
Phantump's great. The
Revenant's awesome.
I think it's Phantump, maybe. That's the little pumpkin one, right? No.
There's
Phantom
Pumpkaboo.
is pre.
Oh, is it
Pumpkaboo
Pumpkaboo?
is the pumpkin. Phantom is the baby Trevenant.
It's like
Yeah.
the little tree trunk
Yeah.
on its head.
Baby
and then
Trevenant.
Trevenant's the actual tree.
I'm not sure actually. I can't remember if it's Phantump or Pumpkaboo.
So-
But one of the
Well,
two.
Pumpkaboo's a
Yeah.
pumpkin.
Phantump is a tree, yeah. No, I know. But it's one of those two. The Pokedex entry is it's brought to life by children. It's by the spirit of children who got lost in the forest. But the problem is that they're super common and they're like literally everywhere. And it's just like, how many parents are letting their children get lost in this forest? That this Pokemon is literally everywhere.
It's Phantump.
Phantump.
In Alpha Sapphire, it says, according to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest.
Yeah, there you go. And you,
Phantom?
Are
I-
we really
Phantom,
surprised
yeah.
though? In Pokemon World, they just send their kids out.
I mean, Drifloon goes and takes him, and then Phantom, you know.
There's some crazy stuff in Pokemon,
Yeah, Pokemon
Yeah.
World is fucking.
especially in the Pokédex entries.
Yep.
They go wild. That's where they go wild.
yeah. Have you ever read the
Pokemon hard.
Scientific Pokedex? It's a really interesting website. You should look it up sometime. Just like Google Scientific Pokedex. It's just Google Scientific Pokedex. You'll find it. But it's basically they try and explain Pokedex entries with actual real world science.
Oh.
So it's quite
This
interesting.
drink is not good.
It's things like they were explaining like how you can hit Blastoise with like a ridiculous like force and it won't move. And it's like the only way it can do that is like there's animals do this in real life and they basically just break every bone in their legs to keep them in place.
My God.
So Blastoise does that regularly. There's thing about like how it says if you're near a Gengar you can feel the room getting colder. And that's like basically it says like rather than most life forms which are exothermic, Gengar must be endothermic because it absorbs heat rather than giving it out. And they were then saying, based on Gengar's size and the fact that it absorbs heat, if you were to cuddle a Gengar, you would freeze to death in about 4 seconds.
You know, I'm surprised Pokemon haven't become the dominant species in that series and put humans in balls. Because
Yeah, the only thing they're
I don't
lacking is
understand how
science.
the humans can control all these Pokemon.
That is
All
very
the
fair.
crazy stuff that they can do.
Although you say that, but if you watch like the original anime, like, isn't it like Kadabra's psychic powers that Sabrina uses to trap people in a tiny little world?
Yeah, but how is Sabrina the leader and Kadabra's the Pokemon?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
how is Kadabra not taking over Sabrina, you know?
Yeah, it's nuts. You think is that what you want? You want a new dystopian, like basically like The Last of Us, but in the Pokemon world, where like you're trying to survive as all these like creatures just destroy everything, and the human race has almost died out. That would be really cool.
Don't ever get a dog, anyone. They're annoying.
Hey Barry.
She can't hear you.
Well, fine.
You're in here.
Well, all right then.
Hey, Barry. CK says hey.
CK says hey. She won't know who I am, but that's fine. I don't know. Is there any? So okay, we've got an idea for like a Pokemon survival dystopia game. Is there any other games you think need a radical like rehaul or like an alternative version?
I'm not sure. I have a topic that we could maybe potentially go into.
Sure.
It's sort of related to Pokemon a little bit. It's something I've actually been like thinking of making a YouTube video about.
Go for
And
it.
I've complained about it on my stream a couple times already. So the premise is that I think most, if not all, turn-based RPGs should have action commands or some kind of action commandy kind of thing. Just the idea that like some turn-based RPGs sometimes get a little like boring or grindy. You know, like say like Pokemon for example. If Pokemon had something like Paper Mario, where it's like you press A right before you jump on the enemy, I wonder how much more dynamic that would be for a franchise like Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
or for like Final Fantasy, like at least some of the older Final Fantasy games, right? If it had more of like an action command sequence. I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I don't think necessarily old games need them. I think
Maybe not like all, but
I don't know. I mean, I think you can make a good turn-based RPG that doesn't require them. Because also it's less accessible if you have to do a thing for like people who don't have good reaction times and stuff. The game suddenly becomes a lot harder to play.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, I mean, I know because so the main example of game with that I've played, it would be like the South Park Stick of Truth. That was, I think, the first one for me that was really like that. And then I know trying to get like Katie to play it, like she couldn't get the hang of putting a like when you attack or when you get hit and stuff, so you don't get the extra damage or the extra block or something. Whereas if you, whereas something like Pokemon, she's fine with because it's just pick an attack, do your thing.
I guess I'm just surprised that more turn-based games don't have.
You see, and I think the other
like
thing
some kind of
is a lot of games nowadays are just moving away from being turn-based. It's seen as a very archaic sort of
That's true.
way of playing a game, which I think is a shame. I really liked old turn-based games. Or what I really like, actually, which maybe, again, for you, might be the thing you need to make it more interesting, is if you look at Final Fantasy IX, which is my favourite of the Final Fantasies, it's not turn-based. It still has the same like menu, like a turn-based game, but it's uses what they call ATB, which is Active Time Battle.
ATB.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's still, even though you're using a menu like that, it's still playing in real time. So if you just sit there and do nothing, you'll keep being attacked. Like the enemies still work.
Yeah.
And I found that to be much better than turn-based, personally. So maybe like that might be a better way to do it.
Yeah, I think just like moving forward in gaming, I wonder how turn-based games would be, will be made if they'll use like ATBs or if they use action commands, or if there's gonna be like some kind of new system that people might experiment with, you know? Because I feel like with just sort of being like, all right, I press A on a move, the character does the attack, and then that's like kind of it. Like at least for me personally, like I do like whatever games I've played in the past, but I feel like I'm getting like
Fatigue.
I want something new. I want something like more like, yeah, I guess fatigue would be the right word.
That's fair.
And Paper Mario is just one of like my all-time favorite games, and I just love the whole action commands just system. So I've always wondered, like, why don't other turn-based games like implement stuff like that? And I guess you've got some outliers like Bravely and like Bravely Default. God, I can't speak. Has that whole mechanic with like you can either use your turn or save your turn. You can default and save your turn and build them up, and then use them all at once. And even for ATB too, I guess like it almost feels like it breaks the immersion of like the action, I guess, where it's kind of like, all right, we're all about to attack, but we have to wait.
Wait a few bars for
All
that.
right, now it's my turn. Now I can attack, and then we all attack, and now we all wait. And
Yeah.
now we, like, you know.
But then I guess if that's your complaint, you're not looking for a turn-based game. You want like an action game.
Right. Well, or I guess it's just like maybe ATVs just aren't my
Not yours, though.
for
Yeah.
a turn-based game, you know.
I can't wait for GTA 6.
No, you'll get that with the next Hollow Knight and Half-Life 3.
Or Hades 2.
Yeah, or Hades 2.
I think Hades 2 will definitely come out though. Silk Song, we're just never getting Silk Song, or Metroid Prime 4.
I wonder what'll come
It's
out
just-
first,
it's a
Hades 2 or GTA 6.
Didn't they do a trailer for GTA 6 this week?
know.
Wasn't-
So GTA 6 has a release date from between April 2024 and March 2025.
I mean, I think that's a
That's
better.
what it says on Google right now. That's a whole year!
It is, but I think that's such a better way of doing release dates because that means that they don't have to constantly go, oh, we're going to delay it, oh, we're going to delay it, and it just winds people up. If they just sort of say, look,
And
it'll be
then
some point.
Hades 2 is quarter 2 2024, so sometime in the second quarter of next year.
That's not so bad.
So April, May, or June.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited as fuck for. I can't wait for
Do you,
Hades 2.
do you think you'll have 100%ed Hades by then?
So, I mean, I have 100%ed Hades in terms of, like, Steam and, like, most people's, like, version of 100%ing.
Yeah.
But I want to complete the 32 Heat plus all the bounties for every weapon, and then I want to unlock all of the stupid ranks that you can get from the guy in the bedroom, which
That's
is
fair.
a lot.
Yeah,
But I mean, in terms of like Steam, I have 100% of the game.
fair enough. You've got all the achievements.
Yeah, I've gotten more achievements than what's in there. I wish there were more in Steam. Because there's one in Steam that's not in Steam that I feel like should be, and that's like getting a 32 heat run, and it's just not there. And I feel like they didn't do it because it's hard, and a lot of people want 100% the game if that was an achievement. I did it. I've done it twice.
Yeah, I knew you had done it.
Jesse's
still have
done it
only ever
twice too.
escaped. I've only ever escaped once from Hades so far. So
I got
still, like,
really
early in the game, I think.
into Mango's stream when he was playing Hades, and he only escaped once or so.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. What the heck?
Oh, that drink was strong.
How's done for the night? I mean, how's not done for the night, but you know what I mean.
I'm going to the Mexican restaurant after we're done with this.
Nice.
One of my friends. I met her with Barry outside. She has a dog too. We became friends because we kept meeting outside while we were walking the dogs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go eat Mexican food and drink margaritas.
That
And
sounds
she's
nice.
gonna drive me, which is great because I'm already kind of drunk.
Yeah. And I mean, you can have more margaritas when you're there.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll have a lot of margaritas. I might have 2.
Nice.
This has been great, CK. This is so much fun. I really enjoyed John and Yoon.
It's okay. Yoon is fine. Yoon is fine. Everyone gets tripped up at my name. I know it's a weird name.
I get that too sometimes though. I get people like elementally. I've gotten just like elementary, like elementary, elemental. No, like elementity. I mean, well, Bilbo made the freaking
That's my favorite
alternate account, elementity.
Has anybody,
Woman titty!
has anybody just come in and called you NJ?
Yes.
And I hate it.
I fucking hate it too. I tell them,
I hate
like,
it.
I you don't say anything, but I do.
Do you? Yeah.
I mean,
I do. I'm like, I don't. That's not it. Please don't.
I meme on it on my stream where like whenever we talk about that, I'll be like, elementality is like how you say it. If you call me John, that works too. If you just call me elemental, that's also fine. I don't mind that. But like at least you trying to say elementality or elemental, like that's fine, But the people who cheap out and just say NJ, I'm like, oh, it's so cringe. Come on.
I think the first time you came, like, I think I probably said elemental something or another.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, that says elementality.
Yeah. That's
And
fine. I love that.
I came around.
I always
I love that.
I always think like people who have got like a strange name or something. Like, there's a good way of telling how much interest in you somebody's willing to pay. So like, quite often if I go to like a new stream where I've not been before or something, and I'd be like, secondhand is what people tend to default to, which again I don't like. And I was like, CK is my nickname in real life. It's what a lot of people actually call me.
Sure.
So I'm like, cool. So, but I'd always be like, hey, call me CK, and they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then if I go back and they're like, hey, secondhand, I'm like, cool. Well, we're not going to be friends. Because
I'm
Sometimes it takes
running.
people a couple times to get it.
sometimes it does. Yeah, I mean that's possibly a bit harsh, but you know what I mean. Like if it's like a prolonged thing and it doesn't
Sure.
stick, then it's like. I think that's
My
Yeah, for sure.
name, Halnet, is the first half of my first name, Hallie, and the second half of my last name, Arnett, so Halnet. And I have a lot of IRL friends now that are like, can I call you Hal? And I'm like, you don't even know how many people call me that. And then like one guy, because his name is Ben, I went to work and like I've been doing this thing. So you know that song "One Wink" by Bare Naked Ladies? That's
Yep.
at the beginning of the.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah.
It's great song.
So it's in the the Digimon movie. So
Yep.
his name's Ben, and I came up with this joke where I'm just like, I walk up to him and I go, "It's Ben," and that's it.
And it just
It's
goes from
Ben.
there.
No. You don't say anything else.
Oh,
Like,
you just
his
don't even
na-
say anything. You
His
just
name
know.
is Ben.
Oh.
So I'm just
I
like,
see.
Got
Oh.
it.
"It's Ben," and that's
I
it.
see.
I stopped. And so he came to me the other day and he was like, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's good. How are you?" He was like, "Oh, it's been a week," and I'm like,
It's Ben.
Has it? Has it been?
"Has it been 1 week for you, man? Has it been?"
Yeah.
But he
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
"Wait, can I call you Hal?" And I'm like, "So on the internet, most of my friends call me Hal, and they all make jokes. They're like, 'How the hell are ya? How's it going?' So like, unfortunately, you're not
Not original.
unique
Aw,
or
damn.
original here, but you can do this. It's okay."
Speak-
Getting them straight.
So speaking of just like doing little bits of music but stopping like thing, what I find is a real like proper brain fuck for people is if you go up to them and go da 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 da. No, it says it, but you just stop like a note early on that last like it says da 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 da.
Bum.
Da. Yeah, and the amount of people that want to carry it on, but if you just do that and walk off, like it just
Probably.
Kind of
Yeah.
pants.
It really
Mario
messes
and
with
Luigi
people.
wear.
this is the best Hal joke ever. Wait, Hyun, you're new to meeting Hal. What?
Hyun, what kind of pants do Mario and Luigi wear?
Oh God.
Denim.
That's my
Classic.
classic Hal joke.
I've actually never heard that.
I hadn't before,
That's amazing.
but it's Hal got me with that one.
Denim.
But it is one of those jokes that's funny every time.
Nice. I like that.
The thing that's funny is that like it's a funny joke if you've never heard it, but like if you have heard it, especially if you heard it from me, the fact that I still think it's so funny is what's funny.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where my humor comes from. Like, I want to do stand-up comedy, and all my humor is gonna be like because I think I'm fucking funny, and
Hey, I mean,
I
it,
don't care if you think I'm funny or not.
it worked for
I think I'm
Billy
funny.
Connolly. He would just get up on stage and laugh at his own jokes, and he was one of the most successful British comics in the sort of 80s and 90s.
Yes, exactly.
And then I have Hal's joke as a sound on my piano. So when I'm playing games, I'll
And
just prop
Luigi
like
wear?
pants,
And
Luigi
Luigi
wear,
wear?
and Luigi wear,
And Luigi wear.
and Luigi wear. You know which one we haven't tried? We haven't tried denim. It's like denim.
Boys!
You see,
Boys.
Boys!
my thing, which I always think is like you don't do, not very often anyway, but if I had your like piano routine, my immediate reaction anytime anybody asks me to put a sound on it would be to try it as high and low as it can go and just see what the two extremes would be.
I've gotten at least low. The cheese burrito always wants to hear like the low sounds of all the sounds, and it's just it ends up cracking her up all the time.
I need to do that. I'd love to have a sound on your piano. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Say something memorable,
Actually,
CK,
I
and I'll
don't-
clip it, and then you'll be on there.
But I don't
Because
say-
send John shit all the time.
I don't say,
She does,
say
yeah.
I don't say anything memorable. That's the problem.
Step on me, mommy mon.
I did.
We've got some press sounds. Yep.
Yeah, I did. I was going to say I did send to John ages ago because I wanted him to get everybody to do the John power up noise and then have like everybody has a different note on his piano. So I did send him me doing that ages ago.
I was gonna make a video. How I can't stop.
He's trying to talk seriously here, and you're waving your dong about.
I'm just so distracted. I just see.
And your
Things
face is so
going down.
red.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is?
Mine has makeup on it.
I'm like,
Redder than Flake Coco here.
okay.
I
I got so sad when my Frey Coco
don't
evolved.
remember what I was saying.
I loved my little derpy dinosaur, and then it became like an actual dinosaur, and I was like, oh,
He's amazing.
this is less fun now.
Man, I cut
Japanese
my
name?
hair so good.
His Japanese name is Hog Gator.
Hog Gator.
So we actually call him Hog Gator most of the time.
I mean, it is what he is.
Nicole and I watched the new Pokemon anime,
Hog
Pokemon Horizons.
Gator.
So yeah, it's for the Hog Gator.
Oh, I thought you said hot gator, like H-O-T gator.
Hog Gator, like
Hog.
a hog, like a pig.
Like a hog and a
Yeah.
gator combined.
But I was thinking it's like
Hog
a
gator.
hot gator because he's like he's
Yeah.
a hot gator.
He is a.
Yeah,
wait,
look at
you
his-
said that in American accent.
Maybe.
Look at his
I
sexy
think
tail.
it's
Very
hot. Well, I was more meaning in like. So I always thought he was supposed to look like a dinosaur and a chili pepper mixed together.
Yeah, that's it.
So I was thinking
Yep.
he's a little spicy dino.
Little
He is a
spicy
little
dino.
spicy dino.
Yeah.
And he has cheese on his stomach. Look at his cheese, his craft singles.
The teddy didn't come with that. That's something that they've added.
That's cute.
You got
Slap cheese on him all the time.
he got messy having
Someone
dinner.
threw a block of cheese. Did we tell a story yet?
No.
It's time for that, isn't it?
I mean, it can be. I mean, all right. Well,
It's close.
it yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose. It just dawned on me that we hadn't done that yet.
No, well, that's how the show ends, usually, typically.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go get another drink and pee.
Okay.
We'll keep talking, and
Wait.
then we'll come back to that.
Sure, we'll do that. Everyone go to house chat and do ! bathroom.
I don't have a bathroom command. Go to John's
I don't
chat.
care. I'm doing it. I'm going to your stream anyway. Shit, I typed your name wrong. There we go.
Do you always do it too? Every time I have to write it, I'm like, is it double L and one T or one L and two T's?
I actually forgot the N for some reason.
And the bottom of his
I'm gonna-
feet are cheesy too, apparently.
I just subbed to her for 35 months with the text just exclamation mark.
Excellent. Alright then. Well, I guess then if we'll get ready to do our stories. Unless did either of you have anything else that you wanted to talk about quick or no? Okay. So yeah, before we do that, we'll move on to just our last ad break of the show. Because what is a chat show without ad breaks? So coming up on the 6th of January is going to be the Friendo Year-Endo Awards. You can, the voting is now open if you go to, I wish I had the website ready, but it's just friendoyearendo.com, isn't it? /voting.
I think so. Yeah.
Pretty sure. I should have prepared that. But if you've enjoyed today's show, this show can be voted for in the best podcast section. Thanks, Leon. Yeah, you can vote for this show in the best podcast section. I've also been nominated for best horror streamer. If you want to check that out, if you've been enjoying, we've just played through all the Dark Pictures games recently, and if you've enjoyed those, that would be really cool if people could drop me a vote. But also, I'm pretty sure every other one of my guests has also been nominated for stuff. Because I believe Hyun has been nominated for your Sprout Award. Yes, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. And
Correct, sir.
Very nice.
yeah. John, you've been nominated. I know Streamer of the Year is the big one, but I think you've got a couple of others.
Yeah, I have Streamer of the Year. I have Best Channel Point Redemption, and I think Most Unique Stream. I think those are the three.
Right.
I'm in.
And I'm not saying you don't deserve a unique stream, but in my mind, you definitely deserve Streamer of the Year and Channel Point Redeem. Those are two things I very much associate with your channel.
I appreciate it. I think the Channel Point Redeem I heard was more like it wasn't like one specific one for just anyone in the category. It was just sort of in general.
In general, your redeems,
your
yeah.
Channel Point Redemptions. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think your piano noise is always a load of fun. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And now what I've been doing as well, where I've been showing Lyra like the original Pokemon anime. Anytime I hear a Pokemon with a particularly obnoxious voice, I'm like, I must redeem that on John's piano.
Well, I have all 150. Well, I have more than that, but at least for the Kanto, I have all 151 like the original sprite noises, and I have those like jank, like I don't even know where they come from, but it's just random people going like Bulbasaur,
Yeah.
Venusaur.
Penisaur.
Not penisaur, Howlnet. It's Venusaur.
Penisaur.
We've been over this.
I can't help it. I get lonely.
Penisaur. I like to make a penisaur.
We can't do this during CK's ad break.
Is it an ad break?
Yes.
Well, then nobody can hear me talk about penises.
I mean,
No,
they can.
We can hear. Yeah.
Everyone can hear you talk about
you
penises.
can, but the people in the
No. It's not that sort of ad break. I was actually just talking about things.
Oops.
But it's fine. Don't worry.
Penisaur.
Can't believe this.
Hey, this is also a really good time to remind everybody that we have a clip contest on this channel. If you ever see anything you want to make a clip of, by making a clip of it, you automatically get entered into the channel, into the contest. And at the end of every quarter, all my mods vote on what's their favourite clip. It might be Hal shouting Penisaur. And whoever made that clip...
Penisaur. Penisaur.
And
Penisaur.
whoever made that clip gets a month's free sub on me. So always look for clippable opportunities when you're here. As, you know, let's be honest, this quarter is almost over, because it is just December.
This quarter is almost over.
Yeah.
We've only got 29 more days.
Yeah. That's it. I won't have a huge number of streams in those days. But yeah, and obviously, so basically how I was talking about the Friendo Year Endos, and so Hal has also been nominated. I know you've been nominated for the shit poster. Have you got any others, or is...
That's it.
Just that
I'm
one.
just a shit poster.
Yeah.
Please, everybody vote for me because I'm hilarious.
How is
hilarious?
Hey.
how is
Hey
really?
yo.
Oh, also actually, Hal, to go back to what you were saying earlier, just briefly. I've actually done stand up before, and I can tell you it's genuinely like the most fucking terrifying thing you'll ever do in your life. Or at least for me it was. It was really scary.
It's the most terrifying thing you'll ever do in your life.
Yeah, well, that's true. I suppose because you're naturally funny, and I have to work really hard at
am.
it. So
Exactly. I've already been writing jokes.
yeah.
I just have to study stand up and how to do it.
I-
and then I'll have a bit.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I've done it 4 times, and to varying levels of success.
That's exciting though. Like 4 whole times.
Yeah.
Like even if the first time wasn't great, you did it again. That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I did it, I did a 10-minute routine, and I think only 2 people in the audience laughed, and one of them was my brother. So I don't know if that counts.
It does. It counts.
Of course it counts.
My brother wouldn't laugh at me unless he thought I was actually funny.
That's fair. I mean, I think. Well, I'd like to hope he thought I was actually funny, but I think the second and third, no, the second and fourth times I did it was when it worked the best. But I did songs as well, so like I had my ukulele and I did I did the first with the second time I did it, I had my ukulele hidden like behind my back for like the first half, and I was just doing like normal jokes, and then I was like, right, I need to do something really important now. So it's like I just sort of swung it around. I was like, I need to get my axe out, and I need to we're gonna rock hard. And I was
Unfortunately, I'm not musically inclined at all.
Yeah.
Like I could sing with like training probably, but like no, I have no musical talent.
I mean, that's fair.
I can maybe dance now a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
you learned the pip-up dance, right?
Oh, I did learn the pip-up step.
Hmm.
And I all I did when I went to Beyonce's concert for Renaissance was dance.
Yeah,
I can shake my ass, okay, but that's about it.
that's what you need. Don't worry about it.
That's what they like. That's what they like to see.
Yeah. Okay. So, moving on. I have asked all of my guests to bring a story from their lives with them. Something that maybe they haven't told on stream before, as a little fun little taster of, one last thing for you to get to know them. And yeah. So, who would like to go first with their little thing? Oh, Hal's obviously got a big thing, but
I forgot what I decided to talk about.
well, that's okay. Well, you don't have.
Wait, no, I remembered. Okay, so, all right.
All right, go for
wrote
it.
my story. I guess I've interjected. It's
Yeah.
my turn now.
Yeah, you very much volunteered.
So, I have no idea what anybody expects from this, but once I was in high school.
Whoa.
Yes, I used to be young enough to be in high school.
Mhm.
Funny story. One of my managers says I look like I could be in high school now. That's all I gotta say to him. But so I'm in high school, right? I'm in my AP English class. I can't remember if it's lit or if it's lang. Doesn't fucking matter. So we're in this class. I come to school and I'm just like, y'all, the most fucked up thing happened to me last night. And they're like, what? And I'm like, alright. So I'm in my bed, alright? And I've been known for having, like, very vivid dreams. My entire life I've had vivid dreams. Like, even last night I had vivid dreams. Like, sometimes my dreams are so vivid I have a hard time telling what is real and what is my dream. So it's like, did I manufacture these memories or did they actually happen? I don't know. Whatever.
Real quick,
I guess as good as mine.
Can you lucid dream?
I haven't tried.
You haven't tried.
I haven't
curious.
tried. I probably could if I tried, because I
can't,
have
but I was
such
just curious.
vivid dreams as is.
Yeah.
So like, I think if I like put that effort and intention into having a lucid dream, I could probably do
you
it.
probably could, yeah.
Because my dreams are so like crazy and realistic that like I do have like a weird blur between reality and what happens in my dreams. But so there had been a couple times where I had quote unquote cried wolf, where like I'm probably 17, 18, like between 16 and 18 for sure. And I'm like, there was once I thought I saw a bat in my bedroom. So I'm like screaming bloody murder for my like mom and dad to come downstairs because I thought I saw a fucking bat. And there was no bat. So I'm in my bed. I have my dog Jordan with me. We're like laying there going to sleep. I did stay in the basement at this point in time, and I feel something weird up against my leg. And I'm like, it has to be the dog's wet, cold nose. For sure, right? But then it dawns on me. The dog is laying on the other side. I'm spooning the dog. I felt this cold, wet feeling on the other side of my leg. So I pull the covers back. I look down there and I'm like, oh shit, that's a fucking snake. So a snake had like crawled up against my leg. So I am screaming. I take the dog. I throw her into the floor. I take all the blankets off the bed. I throw the blankets off the bed. I jump out of the bed. I'm just like screaming, trying to get my parents to come down there, and they're like, huh? And so I run up the stairs to the next level of the house, and then go to the side where there's another set of stairs where my parents' room was. So I'm yelling up this like corridor, and I'm like, there's a snake! There's a snake! It's a snake! And they're like, you're just dreaming, you're just dreaming. And I'm like, no dreams, there's a snake. So they come downstairs. Then they come downstairs. There's no snake. Then they're like, we told you there's no snake. And I'm like, this creates a bigger problem because now I don't know where it is.
Oh no.
So I had at the time a twin-sized bed, which is small. It's very small. And it was in the corner. Like there's a wall and a wall, and the bed was like right here in the corner, like in this area. So I'm like, wait a minute. Because the bed, the mattress, and the box spring did not align completely. So I pull the bed out from the wall a little bit. There was about this much space. Like, the box spring was completely up against the wall, and the mattress was about here. So there was, like, this much space between, like, there was box spring here, and then the mattress, so there was, like, here. The snake was right there. And that little tiny bit. So now everybody's screaming. My brother, who is 2-3 years younger than me, comes downstairs. He gets the snake, grabs it by its tail, slams it on the ground, and then somehow this motherfucker finds an axe and chops his head off
Whoa. That is not where I saw that story going.
Neither did I.
And I'm just like, thanks, but what?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm vegan right now. Like, I would never kill an animal, like, of any sort. Like, at the time I was not vegan. I just ate whatever. So, like, I still liked animals, and so that still kind of fucked me up a bit. But then I'm also like, well, there's no snake in my bed now.
That's it.
So, yeah.
It's like
there was a snake in my bed. It cuddled me. I screamed. It hid. My brother chopped its head off with an axe.
I was gonna say,
But
it's
where
like,
does a snake's head begin and where does its tail end? Like, I don't know.
I think like the question she brought up is like, on the one hand, good, there's no snake. On the other hand, my brother's got an axe. Like,
Yeah, it's exactly like, where did he get this from? And where did he put it afterwards? I have no idea. I mean, I'm still alive,
that is the main thing.
but I have no idea. Like, it was weird.
Crazy. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing about your traumatic
interesting
snake
story.
adventure.
I had no idea where to go with the story, and so I decided to go chaos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Who would like to follow that?
Oh god.
Up to
Go
you.
ahead.
You want me to go or?
You
or
can go, John. You sounded
Me?
like you're ready.
Yeah, sure. I'll go. I think I might have told this on stream before, but this story is the journey of me proposing to my fiance. So
I've certainly never
I
heard
will.
it.
Oh, I've heard
Yeah.
this story.
I think you've heard this story. Yeah. I don't know if CK's heard this story, but
I'll let you know if
So
it sounds
I'll-
familiar.
okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really glad that Nicole has said that she loves this story, because it would have been really awkward if she didn't.
I can't tell the story with Hal petting her dong though. I can't.
It's so
I can't do it.
romantic.
It's just I can't. Thank you. It's too distracting. I just can't. It's on screen a little bit. Can you just like push it up a little bit more, like
Yeah.
No, not that way. The other way. The other
right
way.
now.
Just give it a tug.
Okay. All right. So where do I begin? When I started looking for rings, I was like trying to figure out, what's her favorite. Like her birthstone was a pearl, but I was like, do I want to get a pearl? I feel like when it comes to getting rings, people usually go diamond, or if they don't go diamond, they go like ruby, sapphire, stuff like that. He wants you to chuck it like he throws more. Yeah, basically. So, but I was going back and forth, and I would ask a bunch of people, like, do I get her the pearl because I feel like it really fits her the most, or do I go for the classic diamond because that's like what what everyone kind of goes for, and because it's like the toughest like mineral, it would last a lot longer. Pearls could get scratched up easier. There's so much with it, and a lot of people online would be like, oh, don't get pearls because it scratches up and whatever. But eventually I decided, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the pearl. We'll do that because it's her birthstone, and she loves pearls. It's like her favorite. So
If it,
and then go
I was
ahead.
going to say, if it makes you feel any better, I got Katie her birthstone. She's got a ruby in hers.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So I went to a couple different places looking to see what, like who would like best prices, like if they understood what I was trying to go for. So what I wanted to do was a pearl and aquamarines on the side, and then diamonds along the band. That's basically what we went for. Because
Fancy.
aquamarine's also her favorite. And that was another thing. Is like, do I want aquamarine as the centerpiece and then pearls around it, or do I want the pearl as the centerpiece and then aquamarines around it? And so obviously we went for the latter, with the pearl in the middle. And I eventually found this guy that wasn't too far from where we live. And like I went to some other stores that were a lot more like, it's Jared's one, like a jewelry store,
Jared's one, yeah.
right? Like Jared's, like some of like the bigger stuff. And I'm like,
Jared.
it felt too like professional and kind of expensive, and like I don't know, I wasn't really feeling the vibe. But I found this guy that's like not far from us, and he's been like here for 30 years. He's kind of just like a local jeweler, and it just felt so comfortable and so like at home, and like he kind of understood what I was going for, and it wasn't really that like ended up being like not too bad pricing. It was a lot better than like Jared's or something, you know.
I bet. Those places-
Yeah. So I'm working with him, and it's like, you know, he's got it all planned out. He's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna have it within a few weeks, and I did this like at least a month and a half in advance. And so the idea was that I was going to propose to her in Japan, because we had Japan coming up in this was just this past May, and I was like, I'm gonna do it when we go to Japan. I'm gonna propose to her there. So maybe 2 weeks out before we go to Japan, I message him and I'm like, hey, like, how's the ring coming along? And he's like, oh, it's going along pretty well. I just need to do like casting and then this, and then it'll be done within like the next week or so. So like, okay, cool. So then the next week comes by and I message him like, hey, so what's the status update? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been really busy because like the whole Mother's Day thing, but I promise I'll have it done for you, you know, by the end of end of the week, whatever. So.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. So the week of Japan trip, and so I message him like, hey, so what's the status update on the ring? No response. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little worried, but whatever. Next day, I text him, still no response. So I actually go to his place so I can talk to him in person after work, and it was closed. And
Oh, no.
was like, how do I get in touch with this guy? Like, he's not he's not responding. I don't understand. And so the day before we leave for Japan, the day. Yeah. So it was a Friday, and then the Saturday we were going to be leaving like a lot later at night. We are going to be like flying out. So the Friday, he finally gets back to me. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. You know, I've been sick, and you know, some stuff has come up, but the ring is going really well. It's almost done. I just have to do one last thing, and you can pick it up on Tuesday. Pick it up on Tuesday? I was like, we leave for Japan tomorrow, Saturday. And he's like, oh shit, like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, like we've had this planned out. Like we did, you know. So I start panicking, and he's like, I'll try to figure out something. He's like, what I can do is I can give you like a replacement, like a placeholder ring. I can come up with something quick with just like a pearl that I have and something. And so I panic, and I even call my friends Brandon and Casey, and I was like, Casey, help, I don't know what to do. Like, do I go with the placeholder ring, or do I wait until we come back from Japan and then I use the actual ring? And she's like, no, go with the placeholder ring. Like, it's so much more important if you do it while you're in Japan.
You could have always
like, right, you're right,
proposed with no ring and just sort of said there is a ring. It's just
right. That's true. And so the Friday though, when I was panicking to her, Casey and Brandon were like, we're actually going to a mineral fair tonight. Like, we can pick you up like a $20 pearl ring that we find. And I was like, please do that, because I if he doesn't give me a placeholder, I need something. I felt like I needed something to propose with, you know. So at the end of it, he ended up giving me the placeholder ring, like earlier that day before we like packed up and left to go to the airport. And at the same time, Brandon and Casey were able to drop off their $20 ring. So I had two. I had two rings to work with. And so we go on the trip, and I was like, all right, I gotta like think about when I'm actually gonna propose. And I had an idea, but I wasn't sure. I was like, do I do it sooner? Do I do it later? But what I ended up going with is we went to a place called Nara Park. If any of you are familiar with that.
I've been. Oh,
you've been to Nara Park?
I've been to Nara Park. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. So that's where
so
I ended
cool.
up
That's such
proposing
a cute
to
spot.
her, because she loves animals, and like especially like deer. She loves like.
How many deer
looking
were
at the deer
around
that are
you when
here.
it happened? I need to know.
Not too many. We tried to find a place that was just kind of off to the side. She didn't want to be like too. I knew she wouldn't want to be like on the spot in front of so many people, in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
So we found more of just kind of like this little tree. It was like this like one lone tree just like in this field, and there were a couple deer around. But like the night before, I was like talking to some of the guys that were on the trip with us, and we were at a hot spring, so some of them were bragging like, oh yeah, he told us when we were naked. Just naked in a hot spring, and I'm talking about like how I'm gonna propose to Nicole tomorrow and whatnot.
Wait, you're naked and he's naked?
Yeah, like the onsen.
Nice.
Yeah. because you're not allowed to have like a bathing suit or anything. So it's like, yeah, we're just all naked.
Yeah,
just chilling
I
in
don't
a
think I
hot spring.
could go there.
No,
I don't think they like the tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Most
go.
places probably wouldn't be able to
I think even
Yeah,
if
Japan would be
allow that.
a bummer.
even if I didn't have a tattoo, I just feel like I'd be very uncomfortable.
I would love
Yeah,
to be
it-
naked
that-
in
that's
front of
fair.
people,
It's-
but I have ink on my skin.
I have ink too.
It's not for everyone, but and it's totally fair. But you know what? For me, it's like I take my glasses off, so I can't see shit anyway. So it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
I ain't looking down there to begin with, and even if I do, I can't see anything. So, but at the end of the day, the proposal went well. We had a couple deer around. I had some friends that were taking photos and videos and stuff, and she had no idea. Like I pretty much told everyone, like her family, my family, all our friends, like everybody knew, but she was completely clueless.
That's so cute.
Can I ask? Did you ask her parents for permission?
Yes, I did.
Did you find that really nerve-wracking?
Not really. So it's funny. I actually wasn't originally going to. I feel like it's kind of a traditional thing to do that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if I wanted to or not. I was kind of leaning more towards like I feel like I don't really need permission. Like it's our thing, you know.
Yeah.
But we were hanging. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, I went and asked for permission, but it was my sort of thing. I mean, I knew they wouldn't, but like, as if they said no, I'd have done it anyway. I mean, I'm not like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. I guess I was kind of in the same boat too. But I was hanging out with like Nicole and her family at one point. We went to a restaurant and Nicole went to the bathroom, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna ask them for permission, like this is the best time to do it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it anyway, but I was like, you know what? Just to be more like humble and more like just I don't know what the feeling or the words I'm trying to think of, but I was just like, you know what? I'll just do it just to be like nice, just to be like honorable to them, I guess, you know. Even though I didn't feel like I had to, I was just like, oh, I'll do it just out of like kindness, you know. So I asked them at the restaurant, and they were like, oh yeah, of course. Like they were like excited and everything, and her mom was like, you're doing this now, like in the like on the spot in the restaurant. She's gonna be back in a minute. Like she didn't have like time to like, you know, like us off to the side, like to like marinate with it, I guess, for lack of a better term, you know. But
like you
yeah, so, I mean,
looking back in like hindsight 2020, of course, like do you like, because you told them in a restaurant while Nicole went to the bathroom, when Nicole came back, do you feel like they were weird at all?
They played it off very well. Like her brother was kind of like, oh yeah, so anyway, this chicken parm is really good. As she was walking in, because we were still like talking about it, but then as she was walking back, Phil was just kind of like, yeah, so this chicken parm was kind of like the nudge to be like, all right, stop talking about it. Her mom was probably like panicking.
They all like, they did it really well. Like they played, like Nicole, like you, because you're here, Splippy. Do you, like, looking back, do you feel like, because you know now that like John told it to them like at that dinner, like do you feel like they were weird at all? Like do you feel like looking back on it that like there were any vibes that were like, oh, that makes sense now?
I'm curious what she thinks. I feel like she probably was oblivious and didn't realize or didn't notice anything, but I wonder if she has a different response for
I
that.
probably agree with you. I look really specifically into like how people are, and so like I noticed very slight changes, so I think I may have noticed something.
Sure.
But I'm interested to see what somebody who doesn't think the same way as me.
Yeah.
And that's also like me from the outside looking in, of course. Like if that had actually happened to me, maybe that wouldn't have actually happened, but that's interesting to like think about.
Yeah.
Because that's like a really fun thing. Like you know the exact moment, like when you like talk to her family, etc. Her brother shows up on my People You May Know on Facebook all the time.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. Because I'm friends with you and I'm friends with Nicole. So like he always shows up.
That's so funny.
So I know exactly what her brother looks like. So I have like a whole like narrative in my head of like what's going on. Is Nicole there, John, or she's at work?
She's at work.
She's at work, but she's there. She's at the like she's.
So she's
so she should be
here, but she's at work.
Yeah.
Physically at work.
She might be typing a bunch right now, potentially, but I'm not sure. But
Congrats. I'm glad that
Yeah.
seemed like it went off well.
Yeah, that's
Thank
so
you.
much
Do you-
fun.
That's such a cute location too.
it was so nice. I was like, do I do it in front of like the pagoda? Like there was a pagoda that was there. I was like, do I do it there? Do I do it more like in a naturey spot? And I was like, I think the naturey spot is more up her alley. So it worked out pretty well. Like a couple deer around. It was just like one nice little tree that we kind of just posed in front of, and my one friend was like pretending to take a picture, but she was already filming, already recording.
Jesus, tell the funny
Tell
part.
the funny part. Oh yeah, so that's right. So I proposed to her and she said yes. And as I was actually telling Nicole like right then and there, like, oh, you know, this is just a placeholder ring. The real one's waiting for you, you know, back at home. But this is what we have for now. And while like pretty much during this entire time, there was just this baby deer in the back screaming his head off, just going, just like screaming. And eventually we were just dying. We were like, what are you doing over there? And then one of our friends ended up falling in deer poop.
Oh no.
While filming, I think she like stumbled and tripped, and she like kneeled down into deer poop, and like, oh, you took one for the team. I appreciate it.
Oh man, those deer are something.
Can I,
They're something.
Just because you, would you like my experience of doing the same sort of things?
Sure.
I mean, I have actually told this on this chat show before, actually. So, I mean, I'll do a slightly abridged version, but just as you were telling, I think proposal stories are always nice. So, yeah, like the day when I picked out what ring I wanted to get Katie for her engagement and stuff. And on the day I was going to go and tell my parents and her parents that I'd like, you know, planned to sort of do this. So I was going to go and see my parents in the morning. And then like, and I knew my parents were going out for like a walk with their friends and stuff afterwards. So I was going to go over, quickly see them, and then when they went out for the walk, I would go to the walk with them, but actually go to Katie's parents and talk to her about it, talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, being the constantly interfering menace that he is, phoned my flat that morning and was like, oh, and Katie answered and was like, oh, so are you coming over then in the morning? You're going to come on this walk with us? And obviously she wasn't invited because I had to tell them all that I was going to propose.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And she was really ill that morning as well. So then she got like proper shitty with me, being like, "Oh, well, you never like asked me to do anything with your family, and like I'm at home alone. You go out and have fun." And I was like, "Oh god." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to put things off." I'm like, "So do you want to come out?" She's like, "No, because clearly I'm not invited." And like got in a real huff and went back to bed. And I was like, "For fuck's sake, Dad, if you just not phoned and just let me come over." But anyway, so unfortunately that sort of made her quite grumpy this morning. She now knows this story and is much more okay about everything. But you know, I then went to my parents, was like, "This is the ring I've picked out, what do you think?" And they were like, "Yeah, that seems really cool." And then I did the whole like asking her parents' permission thing, and I knew they were going to say yes, it was fine. You know, like me and Katie had been going out for nearly 10 years at this point. It was 10 years by the time we actually got married. Yeah, like we as of 2 weeks ago, we've been together 16 years now. Which is mad.
Married 6?
Married 6. Well, we're married 6 in March, but we've been together 16.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very
He
cool.
was telling me about this, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. We got together when we were 17, and we're 33 now. So. But yeah, so then driving over to her parents, and like I knew they were going to say yes, but I was like the most nervous ever. I was like in the drive, like still shaking in the car,
Oh no.
and I was just like, I don't know why I'm so.
God.
I was like, I have no idea why I'm so nervous. And but I mean, it was the same. I sort of said to them, you know, I'm planning on proposing. Like I was like for Christmas, I booked her this spa day in like her favorite city, like where she went to university. So when we go up there, I'm gonna like propose, and it's gonna be really nice. And they were like, oh, that sounds great, and you know. And they were really happy and just like, yeah, you've been looking after her and loving her for so long. Of course, we were happy to have you in the family. And I knew, like, you know, it was really nice. And then, like, we get getting to the day that I was actually proposing. So the idea was, I'd given my mum the key to our flat. So we were going to go up to, like, the city for the day. And my mum was going to come in and decorate with tulips, which are, like, Katie. The first flowers I ever brought Katie were pink and yellow tulips. So she was going to come and decorate with pink and yellow tulips in the house. And stuff. So then we went and had this spa day. We went to her favourite restaurant from when she was at uni. and all that. And it was really nice. Then we were on the train, and it was quite funny actually, because when we got to like the spa, and we had like this special massage thing, and they were like, "Oh, you stressed today?" And I was like, "Yeah, just a bit."
Just a bit.
You know, sort of clutch.
You could sense it immediately.
Yeah, that was it. I've got like the ring in my pocket, like, you know, and then we were going home and on the train home, and Katie was asleep on me, and then it suddenly dawned on me I've got this hour train journey to plan how I'm actually going to propose. I was like, I've got all this idea that we've had this lovely day, and the flat's going to be decorated when we get back, and I was like, but I've not thought about how I'm actually going to do the mechanics of, you know, any of the proposal. And then I was like, and it's all going to be decorated in our living room, and like we've got to get down the hall and into the living room, like past our bedroom, and if she wants to go straight to bed, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, and then we got back to the train station, like near our flat, and Katie was like, "Oh, I'm just going to get a drink, like out the vending machine, I'm quite thirsty." So I did it, and you know, like sometimes you'll get lucky when on like old vending machines, and it will drop 2 things instead.
Yeah.
It dropped 3 drinks when she, and she was like, "Oh my!" Yeah, she was like, "Wow!" Like I've put in money for 1, and I've got 3 iced teas. And she was like, "This is literally the best day of my life." And to the point, I was almost like, maybe I just shouldn't bother. Yeah, I was.
Oh, no.
I was like, I don't know if I can beat 3 drinks. Like, but yeah, and then we got back to the flat, and like the whole walk home, she was just like, "I'm really tired. I just want to go to bed." And I was like, "Oh, don't you want a cup of tea or something first?" And it's like, "No, I just want to go to bed." "Are you sure? Maybe just like a quick drink of something?" "No." "Maybe we could watch something on telly?" "No, I just want to go to bed." And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do." And then we got in and like opened the door, and it turned out my mum had also done which I didn't know she was going to do, a trail of like flower petals through the hallway to the living room. So which is good, because it meant that she didn't go straight to bed. But she just opened the door, saw these flower petals on the floor, looked at me and said, "Should I be scared?" And I was like, it's not the response I wanted. But no, it was fine. We went in, and yeah, there was all like flowers everywhere. My mum put a bottle of champagne on the table in a bucket of ice, which I wasn't expecting. And she got all like pink flower fairy lights like lit up around the room and stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Which we still have on our bed to this day. That's really cool.
Aww.
Yeah, and then and I sort of got down on one knee and told her that she was amazing and I wanted her to marry me, and she said yes, and it was lovely.
Aww.
But then we were like, oh, it's actually like 11:30 at night, and we can't really phone people and tell them at this time because everyone's asleep. But yeah, it was.
Yeah. When I asked Nicole's parents, it was just such a I was, I guess, a little nervous, but not too much, because we only had like a couple minutes while she was in the bathroom, so I was just kind of like, all right guys, real quick before she comes back, I need to ask you this. And they were just like, well, her father was like, oh yeah, of course, like, you know, and they shook my hand, and her mom was just like, what, you're doing this now? but they were all very like happy and excited for it, but for them to kind of like only have a couple minutes to be like happy and excited, and then to try to like hide it immediately after.
I remember like my dad's thing when I was like, oh, I picked out this ring, and I was like, I'm not going to propose for like another 5 months or whatever, because I was like, it's when I've booked this spa day. And he was like, well, what the hell are you telling us then if it's not going to be for 5 months? But
Yeah, that's my story.
nice, that's really lovely.
That's very cute.
And
Congrats
you know,
again.
I get.
Thank you.
Do you know when the wedding is? Have you got a date? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a day in 2025. We were originally going to try to do it potentially next year, but from sometime in September, this past September, to July, we had 7 weddings we were attending.
Wow.
So we were like, I don't think we should have ours like next year. We're trying to fit so many others. So we're like, we'll just push it further. It gives us more time to plan and everything. So yeah.
Nice. Well, hopefully that will be just as wonderful. And like I say, I mean, I know I put it in the chat, but you two are. Anytime I've seen you two together, you always seem very happy and lovely, and you're a really nice couple.
I appreciate it. Thank you. One last thing before Hyun goes, I have a Domino's pizza coming, so if I step away for a second, it's just because I'm getting my Domino's at the door.
No worries, that's perfectly fine.
So I'm sorry if I seem rude to just walk off.
No, that's silly.
You're good.
You have been sent a picture of the ring to show everyone.
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah, oh,
I
no,
also
I didn't
need to
tell the ring. I
leave
could-
at like 8:30 my time, which is
Like quarter of an hour.
13 minutes
Yeah,
from now.
that's fine.
I'll post it in our chat.
Okay,
Oh, I'll wrap up the story real fast. My story's pretty funny, but pretty short.
cool.
We love short and funny.
Shit. Well, I guess I can start now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
go
it.
Yeah,
ahead.
go for it.
All right. Well, pretty much. This took back in college, actually. Oh wait, I'm looking at the ring. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Sorry, segue. I saw the ring post. and I was
Thank
like,
you.
"Oh, that's so
It is
pretty."
very pretty.
Right.
It's a very
Oh.
pretty ring.
I'm like a magpie, so I'm like, ooh, shiny
There you go.
immediately. It's like,
Hopefully that's come up on stream. Yeah, there you go.
so pretty.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she loves it.
You did good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Very good, very good.
It was a bit of a panic, as I said, with the guy not having it in time, but it all worked out in the end. We just picked up the ring after we got back from the trip, and it was all good.
Cool.
Okay, I
Yun,
apologize.
yes.
Your
Oh, you're
turn.
good, you're good, you're good. I'm the one who shouted it out. It was... Oh yeah. So yeah, this was back in college. I got into a little bit of a skateboarding phase. I don't think I've actually
Nice.
told this story before.
Excellent.
So yeah, I basically got into a little skateboarding phase solely because my best friend at the time was dating a guy who was a complete skater, and we would always hang out, like all three of us, and like he would like teach us how to skate. So I ended up buying like a penny board and everything, and like just like
Nice.
trying it out. It was so. I still have it with me. I don't skate anymore because I am
I don't
frail
either.
now. I am
I'm not
frail.
much of a skater.
Yeah, I'm so scared to break anything now. But it was fun for the time that I was doing it. One night on campus, we were just kind of like, let's go skate. We used to skate in the garages, in the parking garages. And so, I don't know how to describe these garages other than like the ramps to go up were so steep. And we had the bright idea to go down these ramps. Pretty much ended up doing it on the penny board. I went down. This ramp was very, very long and steep. Basically, was pretty much fine till halfway down the ramp when momentum took over and speed, and I just kind of like did some, I don't know, I fell off my board midway, and it's like I gotta say, this was like my first like you know, you've never had like slow, like when life moves in slow motion.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah, that I experienced that. I basically like time just slowed down so much where I like saw myself kind of flip in midair, and then I kind of landed like I was going so fast. By the way, this ramp was so steep that I just went way too fast, and I kind of like did like a flip in midair and then landed on concrete. And
Ouch.
you'd think it wouldn't be possible to bounce on concrete, but I bounced.
Wow.
I kind of bounced and then hit myself twice on the concrete. Luckily, I like put my hands up and like it saved me. But I was pretty scraped up, like my arms, my palms, my jaw. If I had not put my hands up, I think I probably would have like cracked my face open. But it was like so crazy. It was really bad that my friends were like, I just, when I turned over, I saw my friends from like the ramp like up. My best friend was just like having her hands like covered her mouth. She was like in shock and she couldn't move. Her boyfriend came running to see if I was okay. They thought I was dead.
Wow.
Apparently it looked really, really bad from their angle, and they thought I died when I hit the concrete because I didn't move for like the longest time. And then I flipped over, and my first response was just like, I've never felt so alive.
That's called adrenaline.
Yeah, I was pretty much laughing, and my best friend's boyfriend just started laughing with me because he saw I was all right. But I just had like the giggles and stuff, I guess, from, I don't know, this near-death experience. But I thought it was pretty funny because my friend literally came over and she was like, she had tears in her eyes. She thought I was dead. Like she was catatonic, and here I am laughing. But yeah, it was probably the gnarliest like injury I've ever had. Luckily.
Those things are always sort of scary until you realize people are okay, and then it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it didn't even register for me, to be honest. Like I just thought it was hilarious that I don't know. Looking at that now, like I'm like, why did I think that was a good idea? That ramp was so steep.
I got like the only thing I guess kind of similar I've had with somebody's reaction to sort of something like that is one time at work I was like stacking up the wine and I dropped a bottle and I went to try and catch it, but as I sort of did, it smashed, and so I basically just slammed my hand onto glass.
No.
So I mean you probably can't see it, but I've got like a scar across my hand where I had to have like 6 stitches. But that was one of those things. Like I went out the back, like to sort of put tissue on it and stuff, and I just sort of said to the person there, I was like, "I'm really sorry. I know you're supposed to be on your break. Do you mind just going to clean up some glass because I've cut myself?" And she was like, "Yeah, no worries." Like when did it? Came back. It's like, and I'm sort of there like swearing my head off, just sort of like holding towel to my hand. And she's like, "Can I have a look at it?" And I went like that, and she just went, and she was like, "You're going to need to go to hospital." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I guess
yeah, it's crazy. You don't think about how bad it is till you see other people's reactions to it.
And then I was sort of like okay with it until I got to the hospital, and when the nurse sort of pulled it open to see if there was any like glass in it, and I was like, I've seen the inside of my hand, and that
Oh god,
that was horrible. But I mean, obviously that's not nowhere near as bad as borderline killing myself on a concrete ramp, but that's maybe like the worst reaction I've had to an injury I've caused.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I survived. Yeah, but yeah, that's my story.
Nice.
Clumsily almost dying.
Cool. So normally I would finish the show with a little story I have to tell, but most my guests normally tell me that like finding out the story is the hardest part, and I have to do like a few of them a year for every show. So what I'm actually going to do this one, which is what I did on the season finale last year too, is I just want to take a minute to thank everybody who's been on the show this season. And like how I do understand if you need to leave, it's fine. But I just wanted to. So we had on the first episode, we had Haya, Silver, and Tony on, and it was really lovely, and they were really great. The second one we had Tony, Chris, and Jem, and they were all lovely. The third episode we had Ivory and Sid, who are both amazing people if you like your RPG streams. Then we had Claire. No, we didn't. We had. I can't see the picture, it's small. Kitty. We had Kitty, Glenn, and Dyer on the episode after that, and then Claire, Snow, and Burp, Claire, Snow, and Ains on the one after that. And then obviously we've got John, Howe, and Hyun today. And I just want to thank all of you so much for being here and coming on and doing my show this year, because
yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This is, like I say, I always sort of say this show is kind of like my little stream baby, and it's like the thing, definitely think it's the most important thing I do on Twitch, and it's just really lovely. Like I say, it's nice for me just to have people over and chat with my friends, because isn't that nice? But also it's nice for me to sort of say, hey, these are the people I think are wonderful, please can everyone else go and check them out. So thank you everyone so much for making this show, because it is the guests I have here that make it more than it is me, and you're all wonderful. Just really quickly before you go, Hal can go first because I know she needs to leave on a timer. But if you just want to quickly tell people about what you're doing at the moment. Hal might not be doing anything at the moment, but I'm not sure if she's coming back now. She's washed her hair and everything.
So right now, what's on my itinerary is I really want to start writing stand-up.
Nice.
Like I want to write like a stand-up routine, and then maybe like try to go to some like open mic nights, etc.
That'd be really cool.
I recently switched to, because I had been only working 4 days a week at my main job, and I just recently went back to 5 days a week. So it's taken a very social toll on me working that extra day a week. So I'm trying to figure out what the best day and time for me to like stream again. Like I want to stream, but I don't know when is the best time. I'm gonna say probably like Fridays is gonna be like when I. But then again, I don't know because I have streams I like to like go to on Fridays. So like maybe sometime Saturday at some point will be like when I really, because like I had time right now to do this, so I could have time to stream instead when I'm not doing this here right now. So
and
streams probably Saturday-ish for me, but I'm also I think because I really want to do comedy, but I don't think I have the mental fortitude to write a skit, record and perform the skit, and then edit it. That's a lot. So I feel like if I want to do comedy, skit stuff like in terms of stand up might be more my spiel. So.
And you could always practice some of your stand up on Twitch.
That's also true. So like I could absolutely like perform like a whole, you know, stand up routine on like my Twitch stream and record it.
I've definitely considered doing stand up on Twitch before, but I always think it would be weird to do it with no audience. But then maybe it'd be better. I don't know. If people want, if you were gonna like have a bad show, I'd rather have a bad show with no audience.
Yeah. So I think that's like kind of what I have going for me right now. Like I want to do comedy, but I think that stand up is gonna be the best way to do it. Though I'm not sure where the stand up will be, but I want to write some at the very least.
Nice.
To get some of my creative juices flowing.
Sure. Well, if you ever want any help, then I'm more than happy to listen to ideas.
I appreciate that.
Cool. Hyun, what are you up to, and where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on Twitch. That's the only thing I do. Lately, well, this year has kind of been I've wanted to stream more, but life and like Hal mentioned, sometimes you just don't have the mental capacity to do it. And so I actually do not have a schedule. I'm one of the streamers that never posts really. I kind of just post right before I go live, and if you want to see, come see. I pretty much just play anything. I want to start new games at least this new year coming. Maybe some new RPGs. I'm not sure which though. I will mention that I do want to start Hades, since we did talk a lot about Hades. That is one of the games I've never played and I've wanted.
If you ever have any questions, let me know.
Hal is the Hades expert.
Yeah, I gathered, so I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's one of the games I'm looking forward to playing next year. I also probably will be starting more of my I want to start crafting kind of stuff. So I have a Lego stream planned, ish. I want to say tomorrow, but I don't know if it's gonna work out. I've been saying this for a while, but yeah, stuff like that where I can build stuff because I do like building things.
Nice.
So I wanna incorporate that into my streams. So yeah, stuff like that. But yeah.
Awesome.
And just in time, John is back.
That's it. That's
I've
perfect.
acquired Dominoes.
Nice. John, quickly tell people where you are and what you can do, where they can find you, and all those sorts of things. What are you doing at the moment on your streams and YouTubes?
You can pretty much find me at
Why can't I spell?
ElementalityNJ on pretty much everything: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I mostly just use Twitter, not Twitter. Twitch and YouTube is kind of like my big focus recently. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of Pokemon stuff. I have a lot of ideas for a Pokemon game show potentially starting next year. I'm doing more piano gaming, of course. I'm making Pokemon cries into songs. I'm doing a lot of that. A lot of my YouTube content, I often stream the process of me making those songs or learning the Gen 1 cries on piano, or potentially memorizing so my goal is to memorize the entire Pokédex. I've only done Kanto so far, so I'm going to be memorizing Gen 2 next, so I'll be doing some of that process on stream as well. That's kind of like the big, a lot of the main stuff that I'll be doing with streaming moving forward.
Nice. And I'm currently, after the charity streams from last month, the month before, whenever we did the charity streams, I'm now working through doing all the redeems and stuff that we got through. So we've just started our Pokemon Nuzlocke. We'll be carrying on with that tomorrow. If anyone wants to hang out for a Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke, that's what we're doing. We're trying to take Pikachu to glory. So next week we'll be doing the Daddish Free stream. And then hopefully the week after that we'll be doing the Hitman Kill Every NPC on the Map challenge. So, whilst keeping the Pokemon Nuzlocke going throughout. So, try and get that sort of thing done for the rest of the year. So there's a lot of fun stuff. And then, we've got games planned early for next year. We're going to be starting like Goodbye Volcano High I just got. Mario Wonder is going to be coming. I know for a fact I'm getting a pre-order for the new what's it called, Yakuza game for Christmas, and that comes out at the end of January, so that's going to be coming up on stream. So lots of fun things happening, and it's been a while since I played a really big game, so Yakuza is going to be a big thing. Yeah, so hopefully some folks can come hang out with us tomorrow for Pokemon. Oh my god, Dyer has just gone live. That's someone to raid.
Perfect.
That was perfectly timed. Thank you, everyone.
Alright, I'm gonna abruptly dip.
No worries, absolutely go.
No problem.
But thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you all my guests for being here. I know John probably wants to get to his pizza too. And Hyun's probably got stuff to do with her life.
No problem.
Yeah, I normally say to people, it's like, hey, this will be sort of like 2.5 to 3 hours, and we're now at 3.5. I can't believe we went so long that the music stopped. That's
Hey, we had a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
we did.
we did.
It's been a really nice show, and this might be the longest one of these shows we've ever done. It's certainly the longest of the second season. I'll have to check it with the longest one in the first season.
We're special then.
Yeah.
We're special.
That's it.
And Hyun, it was a pleasure meeting you as well.
Pleasure
Yep.
meeting you, John.
That's it.
Amazing.
And you two are both wonderful, and hopefully you'll be friends forever now. Right. So if anybody wants them and doesn't already have them, here are my socials. You can follow on Twitter to see what I get up to. You can check out past VODs on YouTube, or you can join the Discord if you want to chat in between streams. Setting your role as a sloth gives you shows you what I do with my little area at the Discord. If you set your role for live notifications, you get to see when me and all the other cool streamers in the Nerdycast will go live. We're going to go raid the wonderful Daya Mori, who has already been on the show, which he was one of the people we mentioned. If you want a raid message, here is the raid or sub-raid message, depending on whether or not you are subbed. But if you'd rather say your own version of hey, how are you, or just carry on lurking, that is perfectly fine and valid. You can enjoy media however you see fit. I will be back tomorrow for doing my Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke, as mentioned. Hopefully you can come by and hang out, and if not, hopefully you can go and check out John, Hyun, or Hal at some point soon. Again, thank you everyone for being here, and thank you my guests for being here. All that's left for me to say is bye, and remember, spread the wholesome.
Goodbye.
Oh my god, where's mine? Cool.